lah.
Hello.
Hello? Okay.
Nak pergi ke tak? Saya takut lah. Saya tengah cari bilik ni. Cakap ada ni pun dia orang macam tak pasti nak pergi ke tak.
Tak apa.
Dia hari ni dia ke watch party lebih.
Rasanya kot. Tak pasti. Sebab hari ni Nova lawan kan. Dia tak cakap pula bila lagi. Sebab ada dua kan, Manila dengan Malaysia. Sebab kita lawan blacklist.
Ya. Bodoh lah Pai. By invitation bukan free for all.
Nak free for all lah.
I tengah. Boleh masuk je kan, bukan by invitation.
Boleh dia sini.
Hi guys. Hi Fox. Faisal, malam ni ada. Nak main tak? Malam ni Cu nak main Phasmophobia. Phasma apa benda. Tapi tak tahu Cu tengah fikir nak pergi watch party Shoki tak hari ni. Tengah sakit perut sebenarnya. Cu tengah cherry berry. Malam ni Phasmo mungkin pukul 10 macam tu kot. Kau pergi ke? Kau macam nak pergi. Hari ni kejap pukul berapa lawan? Mana KIS?
5.
Dalam game tak buka lagi ke guys?
Dia lah.
Cu nak main dulu kejap. Lepas tu nanti Cu fikir pergi. Cu tengah tunggu perut reda. Daripada pagi lagi Cu nak muntah-muntah. Rafi pun tak kerja hari ni sebab risau kalau Cu apa. Kau nak pergi pukul berapa ya? Kau semua pergi ke? Alah.
The Dharma is going to have to take the
DMT
spotlight
lawan
in
Kak
here,
Gendra.
and hopefully we'll be able to see the highlights very soon. The way that the Dharma just started setting up all the team for success, it was the real key for the victory of Dominator Esports in what I think was not even 10 minutes. We did not make it even to the 10 minutes mark.
Kau ini aku nak
9 or just nice at 10?
Ya, kita tak claim.
MC kelakar gila. Ajak adik je sekali so kita boleh main 4 orang. Tapi kita ambil level rendah
That's
tau
why you don't
Faizal.
ever give them the holy trio. Mai Shinui,
You pergi pukul berapa,
and
Fok?
also Dharma. This is the bread and butter of Dominator Esports since
Kejap bagi Cu tekan. Korang dah buat prediction ke? Total game hello. Kenapa tak boleh ni? Kenapa tak buka ni? Total game. Number of hero. Malahnya aku nak buat benda ni. Korang tolong cuba buat prediction ni. Cuba 25 minit kot predict. Shortest game. 8 minit or less. Okay, predict. Highest game by single hero. Okay. Most assist. Banyaknya nak kena buat predict. Kita predict. Cuba sini Dominator menang. Dominator kagen dah cuba Dominator. Kita. No! Alah ruginya. sebab Kagendra tengah banyak kan. So kalau kita sebab Dominator not bad tau performance diorang. Bukan nak kata Kagendra tak power. Kagendra power kat tapi. Hai Lokman Asif. You sekarang main game apa? Lokman. So kita boleh bincangkan game apa you main.
Apa yang no cakap ni?
Tak boleh predict.
Boleh lah, tengok game lah.
Boleh ke? Saya tak
Boleh
boleh
lah.
pun.
Big fights. I would dare to say the first one I wouldn't even count it as a big fight. I would say these two big fights. One over there in the
Tak
mid
sebab
lane.
based on pecu punya ni
Kan
choose
tahu.
Dominator boleh pergi. And then orang tengah kurang undi Dominator, so kita akan menang banyak kalau Dominator menang. Itu cara nak dapatkan koin cepat guys.
Boleh kan predict kan?
Tak boleh pun.
Boleh, awak tengok match.
Mana?
Tengok live match.
Mana
Live lah, live.
Brawl, bring around
Kenya
two
tu.
players. L
Tekan lah
and
kat
C
situ.
Brawl
Tengah-tengah.
duo. 0014 on towards the Zhang
Ada
Fei
kotak
role
atas tu.
and 4010 on
Tengok.
towards CC's
Dah
match.
habis ke?
Adalah.
The way that they set it up in here, I would dare to
Game one dah
say
habis, ni
that it
game
was a
2.
little bit more of Kagendra providing the opportunities for Dominator Esports and Dominator just being able just to capitalize out of those. Doing a very good performance in that first match tells you a lot about the pace that Dominator Esports wants to play.
Korang nak pergi hari ni pergi watch party, korang pergi pukul berapa weh? Bagi tahulah. Sebab sana party susah. Korang semua dah gerak dah ke?
Mana buka je pukul 5.
Lu masih I know you. Ini bukan ni ke? Budak sikit belakang. Baru teringat. Bukan Kai ke? Brother, how's your back? I mean, if you still around. I forgot. My brain is somewhere else. I didn't see your profile picture just now. I'm so sorry, man. Nak muntah lah, Bi. My tummy is... Semalam makan apa, Bi? I cannot lah. I want to vomit. Tu je kau bagi. Aduh. Kan nak tengok dalam screen ni je. Belakang siapa kak? Nas. Yang nak seram-seram nanti malam kita main Fast Mo. Cuma nak main Fast Mo. Cuma macam excited nak main game hantu sekarang. Tak tahu kenapa. Psycho aku ni. Best. Kan Phasmophobia best tau. Dia macam santai. Kalau lah bayang-bayang aku boleh bergerak macam tu seronok. Aku tak payah bekerja. So bayang-bayang aku je kerja. Yang nak tengok KIS kan. Sekejap cu tukar alamak salah pula. Alamak salah pula.
Awak nak KIS lah?
Ha?
Awak nak KIS lah?
Ha?
Awak nak tengok KIS ke apa?
No.
Tengok lah. Saya tak main lah. Itu.
Macam tu. Saya nak tengok. Alah, tapi hari ni berapa game lah? Tengah cari birit. Tak tahu nak pergi ke tak. Nanti kau sakit perut tu masalah dah. Cari toilet ke sana masalah ke? Mana KIS? Tak keluar kat sini. Biasa bukan keluar KIS. Sana ada HOK benefit kan?
Game gives me a little bit of a feeling at Kagendra, even though they're right over there in Jakarta international stage. Are we talking about like going back to?
Korang dah buat prediction ke? Nak buat total. Dapat apa ni? Biasa je. Ini dapat apa season ni? Anoman. Oh, boleh beli dalam ni ke Anoman?
Yang ingkang pantes dipunajeni sanes ingkang lahir saking kaluarga ingkang luhur. Tetapi yang memiliki semangat membara.
Baik, kita buat prediction. Blacklist Nova, Pi. Tapi tak senang lah game ni saya rasa. Kan? Kenapa tak boleh? Kenapa dia merah lagi ni? Alah, nak pergi pukul berapa kalau pergi sana, Pi? Dia sampai pukul 9 malam je.
Being able.
Habis stream ni pergi dah kejap. Apa nak gerak ni nak ambil budak-budak tu. Empat suku. Ni skin.
I rasa ini blacklist kot.
That's why.
Kejap bagi mana prediction pre-match. Tahu lah Nova sekarang. Awak senang Shim dengan BTR siapa menang, Bi? Cara nonton KIS for di aplikasi HOK. Okay, aku tunjukin ya. Lihat ya. Tekan, ketik dulu yang bawah ada bentuk diamond itu. Karena ada KIS4, tekan aja. Tenteneng situ.
Change the script a little.
Terus join stream aja.
Coach Sishua and also Coach Muffers coming in from both
Itu tekan
teams
screennya
really
lagi
decide
sekali
the
untuk hilang
composition
semua yang
for
tepi-tepi,
upcoming game that we are looking
yang
at. And
kecil-kecil, pos
especially
apa bagai
if
itu
you're on
nanti
Dominator,
biar
you'll be feeling really
tekan di
good
tengah
about
aja,
that
nanti
game
bisa
because it's
lihat
not a
screennya
close
besar.
one, it's an
Bisa nggak?
absolute domination. But hey,
Tah.
Isaac, we're
Yes.
playing
Nama kamu
on
nggak
the
tahu.
global ban pick rule, so whatever that we
Cu.
see on our screen,
Itulah
Kagendra can no longer pick those
tengah
heroes,
bincang ni.
Dominator
Kau
Eaters can no
kau
longer
turun
pick those
ke?
5 heroes as
Aku
well,
nak
so
cari
that
diri
gives
hari ni.
Kagendra a bit of a sign of relief. At
Tapi
the very
celatu
least, they don't
je
need to see
sedap.
the exact same comp
Okay, makan
for
ni.
the remaining
You
game.
go ke?
I just
Hot
love
net.
global ban pick because of that. Not only because
You
it
going?
just makes the game a lot harder for the players and a lot harder
Situ
for the
parking
coaches,
susah
but
kan?
also because it makes it a lot more.
I've been the area
it gives
before.
us a
It's so
lot
hard
more
to find
big
parking, bro.
variety for the spectators, for the commentators, for everyone else, because we get to
Bisa
see a lot
nggak?
more heroes,
Siapa
right?
namanya ini?
So everything that you already saw over there on the screens is going to
Misteriousnya.
be scrapped, and then the,
Aku dah
the
ajarin tadi,
coaches
bisa
cannot
nggak?
use it again. This
Jap,
is the moment
bagi
where
cuba prediction jap. Prediction. Pi, Nongshin BTR awak rasa siapa, Pi?
Pasti.
Ha?
Pasti sebab tak lama tak tengok orang main. Tak tahu.
Saya rasa Nongshin kuat. You pergi pukul berapa? You pergi pukul berapa? nak cari game. You pergi pukul berapa, Anet? I macam, dia sampai pukul 9 malam kan, malam ni kan?
9.
Ya, pukul 5 sampai pukul 9. You pergi pukul berapa? Nak muntah teruk saya ni. Nongshin BTR ni susah lah. Gamble je lah I have a feeling it will be Nongshin for no reason, but maybe BTR juga. Tak apalah. Okay dah. Nak tengok ke? Kita tengok ni ke KS ke?
or the things that they've already.
Tengok jap.
Now, they start out the banning phase with a Liang. Usually when you ban a Liang, you're looking to play things like the jungle assassins, the Jing, the Luna, even the
Yes.
Yang Jin, for example here. So Pretty interesting stuff so far, and Kagendra answering with the Forged Maiden, Chicha,
Mungkin
as
dia
their first
ambil
ban.
Mai kot Kagendra.
Yeah, of course, they've
Chicha.
already played that Chicha.
Betul,
They don't want
bila
to give it
Liang
out.
band dengan Chicha
But
band,
as
Chicha
you
is more like a
mentioned,
generic
maybe
brand
what
lah,
we're looking
band.
in here, Dominator
Guan Yu.
Esports,
So
is
diorang
gonna be
tak-
something very mobile, something very core in the jungle. Maybe something that's gonna be flashy.
Dominator interesting
Thinking about
lah
the
draft
Luna here,
diorang.
thinking about the Luna here, we might see a Luna, we might see a Dolia Yangjian. These are potential picks
Yeah.
because so far, as we see towards the draft right now,
Dia akan
Luna
ambil
seems to
benda-benda yang
be
high
a
mobility ni.
priority
Luna.
towards our dominated esports, and it has been locked
kalau
in. And
Luna
a bit of a
offense sedap,
backstory,
combo
if
apa?
I'm not mistaken. Back
Yes, go
into IKL Spring 2025 Grand Finals Game
They
7,
need
it
CC,
was
they
Dominated
need
Esports,
CC, they need like Dong
TNX
Huang or
picking the
something.
Luna, and they lost
Kagendra.
against Kagendra. This might be
It's
a
going to be hard if they
redemption
don't have any
match
CC at
for
100%
TNX himself.
CC.
Redemption, I love that. There's so many. That is going to be a word that we're going to be using a lot during 2026. This is going to be the year for a lot of the redemption arcs for all of these clubs are going to start. A lot of these clubs in here, Dominator and Kagendra are not the exception.
Oh, dia ambil
are going to
memang
try to
keras
just
lah.
erase the
They
mistakes
need
from the
to,
past
they
and try
need
to
to
start
find
making big steps forward.
something that can CC,
Kagendra
something that
chooses
can
Diadea and
isolate.
Arlie just as a good
This is a big
combo.
problem for Kagendra
Try
punya
to answer
draft.
back to that Luna on the
It's
other side.
very difficult draft.
It's a very strong counter, I would say. Like, you have the Diadea, the spell to Bittersweet Farewell to lock you down on a spell and knock you back with the passive kick. And you have Harley, which essentially can do two things. Spell
main
2
lah
blocks your mark,
Messi aku ni nak
ultimate
main.
pushes you away when you are
Aku
dashing
tengok
towards
draft
the
je.
early. So it's really down to the early game
Macam mana
pressure
diorang
that's going to be
nak
generated by the Tigris that's going to be
jaga?
on the hands of
Tapi
Fashion.
okay
You were talking
lah.
about like, hey, maybe Kagendra
They're
don't
using
put Fisher on
the-
things like a utility jungle or
What
a
you call it?
non-tempo jungle.
The
So they heard
RD?
Isaac in towards the mic. It's like, okay, Isaac said this. Let's implement that in game 2. Let's put Fisher on
They
one of
also
the
have to
most,
find something that high
I would say,
mobility juga
strongest
untuk
tempo
khas
junglers
Kagendra
in
side.
HOK.
They
What
gotta
else
go
did
with
they
what
ban
Unc
Dharma?
Isaac says, man. Like they know,
Ah, yeah.
they know that there's there's some years in here. I'm telling you, man. I love when the players are just taking.
Well, it's
confidence.
actually a very
And then
good
just the
ban Mai.
confidence of
But
saying,
Mai
like, you know
kalau
what, like,
Kagendra main
trouble
mungkin
is
boleh
here. Give me the spotlight. I'm going to solve the problems. I like that. That just tells
I
you
do
there's some
prefer
kind of
if dia
voice in
ambil
there.
Gising
That tells
though
you that I'm a
sebenarnya
professional.
Kagendra
I know
untuk
what I'm
counter ni.
doing. Give it to me. I love the pressure. What is pressure?
Pressure is something that either hits or miss. For some players, pressure elevates you into a stronger position. It forces growth. For some players, in a certain scenario, it succumbs you into
Well, this is a
tilt.
very
It
good
succumbs you
isolation
into
draft though coming out from the side of
overextension,
Dominator
tunnel vision.
Esports.
So it's very speculative on how you see it. It's really down to the players and the coaching staff.
Love and war both require bravery.
How did they
Flowborn
respond to
and
this?
Xiao
Oh my.
Xiao
Did they
over there
have-
for Dominator?
This is not
Esports.
bad.
Xiao Xiao's a
It's
very
quite
good
okay,
pick
but the
against
Viking
that
gonna suffer a
Arlie,
lot.
right? That Xiao Xiao on the pick against the Arlie brings you the burst damage, putting a little pressure over there on the Parasola.
Well, that's definitely one thing that we have the steady will, Flowborn Marksman, Breeze Heart, Xiao Xiao. These are really good counters
Yelah,
in terms of
kita
team fights,
main-
in terms of
kita
late
main game
in
dulu lah.
towards the early
Jom.
game. Like,
Nanti
Kagendra,
kita tengok.
you don't
Saya
have
rasa
to
ni
solid
Dominator
online
menang.
in
Draft dia orang
your
macam
draft.
lagi kuat.
It's gonna be big fight. I think we never seen a single buy
Tapi Kagendra
In
sebab
the
ada
class
P tu
lane,
pun
in 2025. We see
boleh menang tak. Cuma kita tengok kejap lagi. Jom P main. Kita
Ya.
main few games je.
Abang satu game boleh ni nak kena gerak lah.
Tak apalah, satu game pun okey dah. Awak nak ambil tu jauh ke?
Jauh ke? Dah 20 minit lah.
Ya, so awak pergi balik 40 minit ah.
Balik dekat je. Pergi dekat je, balik lambat.
So apa?
Pergi saya naik SPE je, balik tak boleh.
Cepatlah invite.
Yep.
Cuma maybe pergi kot ke S4. It's just that I'm waiting for Rafi to come back home. Sebab nanti Rafi nak kena pergi jemput anak buah dia. Cakap tukar kamera ni nanti tak pernah.
You're in the farm lane.
Alah, saya dapat farm lane lah, Bi.
Apa boleh.
Saya dapat farm lane.
Baik, tukar mic kalau dia nak.
Kah?
Pick your hero.
Ambil lu, Bi.
Yep. Dah. Apa dah ocel?
Apa awak check audio okey ke tadi?
Okey.
Audio game?
Yep. Saya tak tengok.
Saya tengok kat TikTok.
Pick your hero.
Alamak, sakit ni hero dia orang.
Okey. Yep.
The spirit of a gold saint can never be broken.
Cakap something tak?
Something.
Okey.
It's our turn to pick
nama ada gigi, ya.
heroes.
Suara saya kuat lah. Awak sedangkan suara saya. Saya seru kat sini apa jap. Tes.
5 seconds left.
Okey dah.
Saya tak dengar.
Dengar?
Perlahan nanti. Macam menang. Lately ni cuba banyak kena main apa. Bukan cuba main. Cuma main mid je saya.
Skin awak sebagai ni. Ya kot. Dia automatic boleh skin ke apa?
Apa?
Skin ni? Awak punya je dia automatic ke?
Taklah, dia orang punya kot. Semua nobility tinggi juga. Kau awak punya?
Tak kot. Masa pilih, lepas tu saya tak tukar skin ke apa.
Awak masuk awak punya?
Saya rasa awak punya. Oh.
Yelah, maksud awak tahu tengah cakap pasal skin awak ke?
Enemy minions will arrive in 5 seconds. All forces, move out!
Unity is strength. Unity is strength. Belongs to the strongest.
For the love and peace that thrive in this land.
Enemy missing. Off to a golden start. Good stuff. Enemy missing.
Macam tu magic tu.
Apa?
Ikut Rochan.
Macam magic.
There is still hope.
Enemy missing. An enemy has been retreating.
The fire
My
will
ultimate
never
is ready.
be extinguished.
Slain an enemy. An enemy has been slain.
Derive their power from Cosmo.
Missing lagi? Lagi ada.
Enemy missing.
There is
Copy that.
still hope.
My ultimate
Oh,
is
bukan
ready.
ni
Bukan saya MM.
Copy that. Copy that. You have slain
Even
an
I need a
enemy.
healing dew after this.
You can never use the same trick twice when fighting a gold saint.
Charge. Copy that. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
The fire.
The Overlord and Tyrant have spawned.
Balliste has spawned. Enemy missing.
Copy that.
For the love and peace that thrive in this land. The Gold Saints derive their power from Cosmo. There is still hope.
Betul missing ada macam. Kau boleh kaya.
Slain.
Annoying missing.
An ally has been slain.
The fire will never be extinguished.
Dia ada ular dah.
Your turret has been destroyed. Ally has been slain.
For the love and peace that thrive in this land.
My ultimate is ready.
The Gold Saints derive
Enemy
their power
killing
from
spree.
Cosmo.
Aduh.
An enemy has been slain. Charge! Double kill. Unbelievable. Copy that.
Hey! Hey!
Tak kena ni.
You can never use the same trick twice when
An
fighting a
ally
Gold
has
Saint.
been
Dia
slain.
tengok je saya mati.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Have been slain.
Hai Public Bear, semangat. Semangat. Mengeluh saya.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been
Aduh,
slain.
timnya pun.
The Gold Saints derive their power from Cosmo. The true power of Sagittarius!
You have slain an enemy.
Hey!
Slain an enemy. The Overlord and Tyrant have been enhanced. Cannons moving out. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
They're
An
no match
ally
for
has
you.
been slain. Killing spree.
Dia dah lawan.
Rampage.
Keeping up the pressure.
An enemy has been slain.
For the love and peace that thrive in this land.
Ryzen ni slow kan?
Dia tu dia datang pun tadi. Aku dia
Tapi dia
decent.
lambat. Dia datang sebelum kawan.
Dia lambat. Dia tak tahu dah. Buat lain.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
There is still hope.
Aduh, dia tak akan buat.
Has been slain. reclaimed the crucial kill. Your team has destroyed a turret.
The fire will never be extinguished.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Unstoppable.
Balik ni mati je. Cepatlah dengan Jokin. Oh no.
There is still hope.
Merah bawah tak pecah lagi.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Kita datang sekejap.
Merah
Ha.
Nampak?
Kaiser. Datang lah.
Buka.
You can never use the same
Buka, Mac.
trick
Buka, Mac.
twice when
Masuk je,
fighting
masuk
a
je.
gold saint.
Dah masuk lah. Bukan saya. Saya lubu. Saya masuk.
Tengok belakang dia ni. Tengok Kaiser kat ni. Pisang. Tak guna.
Copy that.
Bobby Bear. 100 kat tepi. Kau ingat ni apa? Order mama.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Kau sihat tak? Pak Bibir lama tu. Tak borak. Jarang dah jumpa. Orang lama-lama suka dia tak ada busy dengan live kan.
Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. An ally has been slain.
The fire will never be extinguished.
Kaiser ni lembab lah.
Shut down.
Tak betul lah dia ni. Useless Kaiser. Bodoh. Mesti aku main game ni. Betul lah. Aku dah cantik dah menangkan game ni tadi.
Menang lagi.
Macam yes je.
Your turret
1 lawan
has been
5. Buat apa
destroyed.
orang tengah fight pun tak datang.
Ground tower is under attack.
You can never use the same trick twice when fighting a gold saint.
Enemy missing.
Don't say.
The gold saints derive their power from Cosmo. May the stars grant me their power.
An ally has been
Wah, this
slain.
Kaiser lah. Stupid.com.my lah dia.
The fire will never be extinguished.
Acah yes tu Kaiser ni.
Your turret has been destroyed.
There is still hope.
Our high ground tower is under attack. Your turret has been destroyed. Our high ground tower is under attack. Slain. Enemy killing spree.
Ai, stres aku.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Report lah Kaiser tapi sabotage lah dia ni. Sakit hati betul. Bangang orang macam
The
ni.
spirit of a gold saint can never be broken.
Lalu.
The fire will never be extinguished.
Ini dia.
Pergilah. You have to go already, right? Go. Malah nak main MM. Banyak spesies macam gini. Get points, give code mission. Lama kau nak pergi. This is so good lah. Oh, asyik perlu sejuk. Muntah. Kau. Wow, magma whelp, fossil bone. No, just later. Magma whelp, fossil bone. Comel ya, Anoman Spryling. Macam nak dapat. Buka. Cepatlah. Bye-bye. Salam. Hati-hati. Jangan lama sangat. Nak muntah lah. Ada apa tadi? Mecha whelp. Cybernetic whelp. Magma whelp. Rose light whelp. Dia ada apa? Fossil bone, rose light, magma. Magma ada cantik lah. Fossil bone dah ada, rose light. Rose light. Me. I like the magma one. Yeah, the magma looks cool. Jabis, happy belated birthday Jabis. I nak wish you tapi you dah keluar daripada group. Tuan kalah. Tuan kalah dengan nyaris menang. May I tunjuk you our game. Ni game kita orang.
The countless.
Where is it? I don't feel so good. Custom mana? Ni. Kita orang kalah dengan Bigatron. Tapi nak ikutkan early game tu kita orang dah nak menang lah. Lepas tu tiba dia orang comeback. Kita orang buat silap. Cua buat silap game ni. Kalah. Kita orang kalah dengan BTR. Dengan BTR yang ni kita orang ada outdraft. Salah draft. Dengan team apa ni? Tak ingat lah. Team ni kuat agak. Nantilah. Slow. S4 tengah ongoing kan tengok.
Chef's kiss indeed, man. Like this is going to be top level performance, and I hope that we're gonna keep seeing more of that, not only today but tomorrow and on days to come. Now we leave game 1 and game 2 behind, and we're gonna move into game 3. We're playing best of 5 for this whole group stage, which means that if Dominator Esports takes one more game, that's gonna be a 3-0.
Satu sama.
This group stage. They don't want to lose 3-0, not only because of the fact that they lose, but because of the fact that the morale hit in there is the worst way to start a tournament.
Sorry, Isaac, you have to send them home when you're already home.
Well, you still need to take a car, mate. I don't think. Even if they need to take the bus back home, they need to go home.
I'm sorry, Kagindra friends. I'm sorry. Please don't come after us. Please don't come after us. This is the updated global bans and pick coming in for the game so far. So both sides, 10 picks automatically banned away from both
bila
teams.
since TNX masuk Dominator,
I haven't
diorang punya progress laju lah. Sebab
really
I feel
I
like
love the way that the idea
the
and the Arlie
mentality
play
of
together.
TNX bawa
Like
masuk
just one of
Dominator
those
dengan
last
coach
points
diorang
before
is
we move
actually
into the next game.
let them
I
see a
did
different
like
perspective
a lot
of game.
the
BO5
and
ni.
Arlie coming in from Kagendra. It was very interesting to see how those two heroes played together against Dominator Esports. So Diadia and Arlie plus the Bitesy, that might be something for us to keep over there in our notes for 2026.
It's a smart pick and balance, and with the items revamp coming in for the fighters and tanks items in towards the Clash lane, it really opens up different choices, especially this patch, because there's definitely nerfs, there's definitely buffs that allows a bigger variety of heroes to be
very formal,
debuting in the international stage. And I'm loving Kagendra's creativity and bringing that Baichi, because even though they lost, it's still a spectacular performance by Solid at the very least in that first 8 minutes.
Dia punya adrenaline lain
extraordinary,
sikit.
man, extraordinary. And I know that a lot of people are gonna say like, okay, can you please stop with the glaze for Solid?
It's not
I'm
easy.
just gonna keep glazing where glazing needs to be given, man. I'm so sorry.
Exactly.
It was a great performance. It's gotta be something for us to just come there and just put over there on our notes. Everyone, when you go back and watch the game one more time, just pay attention to those specific moments. All right, game number 3. What they need to do different right now, because Kagendra, it worked really well in this. When you analyze the two compositions that they have had, they played with a very strong jungler, Lamb, at the game number 1. Did not work really well. No, they played with they played Agudo in game number 1. Did not work really well for them. Moving into something a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more powerful, like the pay, worked better for Kagendra. Does that say that maybe they need to, in this game number 3, try to continue with that jungle core element?
I don't really think so here. As much as I would like to say that draft was an issue, draft was not an issue at all, because it was really down to a few things.
Draft tadi aku dah cakap dah,
and the way that they
draft lagi
position
kuat.
and the communication, these 3 things. So to break it down,
Tapi
in game 1,
betul juga, Kagendra punya draft tadi bukanlah one-sided pun, boleh je
for
lawan.
Senko after he ults was too slow. That's number 1. Maybe it's communications. Maybe it's like disagreement
Tapi Kagendra
on
punya
whether
draft
to
tadi lagi
engage or
susah
not to
untuk dimainkan
engage.
dibandingkan
Second
dengan
one is composure.
Dominator.
When we
Dia
see a
letak
lot of
banyak kepada
mistakes in
Baichi.
the mid game to close off game 2, that's where you know they are still having doubts, they're still having some errors in their planning phase. They need to play more flawlessly. I mean, it's expected stuff, right? You need to be flawless to close off games, especially when you're playing such a low error margin hero like your draft, right? Like Arlie, Pei, and also Shi. One wrong move, your entire lead is blown up right through the window.
Semua mobility hero ni. Maknanya dia orang akan pakai hero yang burst
what's going to happen for this next game. Look at that. Kagendra might go and lock in that Jing. It is going to be a lock. It's going to be their first pick. They want to keep playing on that big core jungle. Let's play the Jing. The problem over here is the Dominator Esports. They have the Liang as an option against that Jing.
Yeah, it's very wide open here, but if you pick the Liang, there's still the likes of the Guigutsu, the
Guigutsu boleh counter
Guan Yu, all these potential counters that could really impact the Liang's out-succession, right? When we talk about Liang, it's really good against assassins, but if you fall off, if you can't get like big plays like Dihaya, it's not really that good going towards the late game. And I like the pickup here coming in from Dominator Esports, Long and also Twilight. So this Long, we might see the tank build Long, where first item like Frostcast Embrace into the Axe of Torment, the physical defense boots come into pro play.
So dia orang punya sustain.
Look at that, Kagendra on the other side. They do not want to allow the Yanni and Dahlia combo, and they say, okay, let me have that Dahlia for myself, and I'm going to get a little bit more of sustain, even more sustain over there in the center with the Yuhuan.
Yeah, that's a very strong late game carry composition as well. You are taking away the Dahlia combo with the Yangjin and also pumping up extra damage in towards the hands of Senko here. So you have a strong early to mid game jungle in the hands of Fei Shi with the Jing, Broken Mirage, and you have a mid to late game tempo mage on the hands of Senko with a lot of pressure that's being generated because you can use double unending sorrow, which is Yuhuan's ultimate, to force positions, to force engages on towards the backline.
The mods pick over here on Dominator Esports, are they looking for poke? Are they looking for control?
Ya, korang tak nampak sana dah ambil Jing.
I'm not against the mods pick, but I think that's so early here just to go for that mods. It's not something that they could have prioritized. They could have prioritized other things instead.
Mine is actually a very good pick.
I think it's more towards a lane and 2v2 counter because when we talk about the Dahlia, she works on sustain, but when we talk about the Immortal and also the Long, these two are very aggressive lane setups that's looking to dominate 2v2.
I see. So you think that it's just going to be more, not thinking about the big fights, but just thinking about the small 2v2s and 3v3s instead.
That's true, correct.
That makes a lot of sense.
And for the side of Dominator, they're saving their mid lane all the way to that final pick here, hovering that Cascada Ladies in for the hands of Joel here. So we are looking at a rather interesting one for Dominator Esports.
Walaupun dalam fight untuk case yang healing macam Dahlia, Yuhuan, walaupun Yuhuan dah pakai ulti tapi dia punya ulti dia kat tempat yang sama sebab tu dia ambil Ladizen untuk main basically senang lah. Main PCC antara hero yang paling banyak CC kat dalam game ni kan. It's actually a very good draw for a lot of CC on the side of Dominator Esports. Lepas tu untuk Yangjin dia boleh
I don't like Dominator Esports composition a lot.
Dan tadah semua benda sebab kalau hero yang main
I feel like it's
hero yang main melee lawan dengan Yangjin ni
like the initiation it's going to be very
susah nak menang sebab dia punya lifesteal
some
tinggi.
slowing down coming in from the mods and then just the pressure
tapi kena pandai kiting lah. Kagendra punya draft tak salah tapi dia orang memang kena pandai kiting. Jangan kena zone out and jangan formation pecah lawan dengan Dominator
it's going to allow the channel to have a very consistent, a very stable environment.
Yang cerita lately dia rank banyak long roam, saya tak banyak main. Ada, bukanlah banyak.
In terms of composition, I'm liking Kagendra's composition a lot more. Would you agree, Sagi?
Cerah kulit dia kan.
I think it's much more, I would say, solid, right? It's like we see everything that we need. Okay, tempo in terms of the Dahlia Yuhuan combo, and also the likes of the late game environment coming in with the channel late game power spike, and then you have the early game that's being covered by the Byron and also Broken Mirage Jing. And then you take a look at Dominator Esports draft, Engage, maybe we see it coming in from Twilight with the
Kita tengok satu game ni sekejap,
on towards the enemy for a spell, or we see the
Sebab
Peacekeeper
Cun nak
spell
main,
on
tapi
towards
Cun nak
the
tengok
zap
game
on towards the
last
enemy.
ni.
Is it the best one? Not necessarily. So that puts a lot of pressure on towards Tough Z on that martial
Yes,
genius
exactly.
Mayin to look
Okay,
for those
what
backline
I can see on the side of
assassination, which is
Dominator,
not
they
the
will
most
go very
consistent
aggressive starting
engage
from
coming
2
from
minutes
DMT.
onwards. Monster Ladies dengan main ni akan banyak gila berjalan. Tak juga main akan selalu engage dengan war. Yang dia nak banyak jalan sebab dua tu dah cukup
I
sisi.
hope that Kagendra in this game, they can be a little bit more dynamic, try to be a little bit more aggressive, try to control the tempo and the decisions of the game. They did not do badly when they had the opportunity in game number 2. Let's see if in game number 3 they can keep polishing that strat and if it is going to give them a little bit more dragons.
And my worry for DMT's draft, he has essentially 3 losing lanes in terms of push. So Channel doesn't do well. Channel does extremely well into low. Senko and Lu dominates that mid.
Tapi kelebihan Zano,
2v2 in
dia
terms of
boleh
pushing
solo
power.
dekat lane dia.
Solely technically on that Byron
So
is super strong in that
kalau
early
dia
game, which
reti main
allows
untuk
things like this.
Kagendra,
Basically on that Jing has
kalau dia reti jaga diri dan tak mati
exceptionally
langsung dia boleh
high
menang.
smite
Tapi
rate. Because
long
why?
early
When
game
you
sakit
have
lah
the
untuk dia
Mirage
poking dengan guna
separated
skill
between
dia
Jing
kat Zan
and
tu
the
kan.
Mirage, which is the mirror, you
Tapi
double your
kalau
smite.
Zan main trap mungkin akan dapat ruang farm lebih sikit. Kat tengah banyak nak fight.
In these first 2 minutes, Facer just showing us a little bit of the experience that he has got, right? Like just for him to show us
Sakit ni kena ni.
how he can just put KX
Serius sakit
into a
gila.
little bit
Kamu
of a
tu awal
problem.
game dengan
You
Lady
can
Zen
already
bapak
saw just
annoying. Tak
Facer
boleh
just
tak
coming
bergerak
in, just
langsung.
coming and taking control of
Kena
that.
stun untuk
of
kena
that red
stun
buff.
lagi. Lepas tu
And right
Lady
now
Zen
it's
punya
gonna
yang
be
ice
KX, the
batu
one
kat
that's
tengah
gonna
tu
be
kan. Kalau lalu pun dia akan
behind
nasyik
in
keras
terms
tau.
of gold and farming. Look at that.
And
Comes in,
kelebihan
takes
satu
that
Lady Zen,
blue buff,
dia punya
and
CC
it's
tak
only
support
level
Princess
3.
Cross.
But
Tapi
on
dia
the
punya
other side,
damage
Facer is
LCD dia
already
pendek
level
lagi.
4. Look at that.
Dia boleh spam lagi.
Very painful stuff, especially in the early game. That's why Jing is such a strong jungler.
Yeah.
When you have
I
main
think-
priority here, we see Tough Z on towards the top side here, being forced away by Senko, and towards the back line here, we see Facial popping that broken Mirage.
No, the
Does
thing
get
about
pushed out
Dominator, they
by
are
L
very
here. Good play coming
disciplined when
in
it comes to
from
knowing their limits.
Dominator
The
Roller.
problem
Cancel
with
that
I
engage.
see some
They
games
needed
lah.
to cancel that
Kebanyakan
out so
dia
they could
miscalculation
actually go
sebab dia
back.
overextend and
Sadly for them,
overstay
Senko
dekat
did
certain
not
tempat.
have his ult available
Itu
in there
je.
because
Who
he
makes
could
the first
actually
mistake?
follow
So is that
up
case.
and force something against DMT. Look at that Tux is just having such a difficult laning stage against the Byron. Solid right now just having the time of his life because there's nothing that Majin can do against the Byron at this stage.
Yeah, that's the early game for you. The Byron into the Mayin matchup. It's only about farming.
Wira udah
And
tak
once
ada
again,
eh.
Facial coming in with the Mirror Domain into the smite, getting that double smite value, stealing away
Dia nak tukar
yet
player
another
dah,
invincible
Kagendra ni.
from the hands of TNX.
Wira kuat dulu kan.
There's nothing that KX can do right now at the moment. It is going to be Facial just collecting and snowballing a lot more and more and more. He already has 1 level advantage, probably is going to end up being 2 in any moment. What is
Diorang
Kagendra supposed to do
tukar-tukar
with
sama
this?
diorang macam
We're
tu
making
je.
it all the way to 3 minutes mark. If they can continue with this
tukar-tukar
kind of pace,
benda,
the 4 minutes
apa?
milestone is going to be completely for them.
Sama dia orang macam gitu.
It's looking really good for Kagendra as of this point right now, but only one suffering right now in
But
all these
talent
exchanges
pool dia
is
tak banyak
actually
lagi
Zan
untuk
in that
showcase.
1v1.
Yes. Zan is the one that should actually have a little bit of a better time in there, right? Like CC just flexing in his mechanics, showing
Tapi
us how
saya
that
rasa
Loon
kat
is
sini
going to
Dominator
take
menang
out
sebab
of
dia orang
that-
punya CC and
of that
continuous
situation.
And we're looking at an
basically
interesting build as well
sustainability,
coming in from
bukanlah
CC.
sustainability,
It's not the
tapi
traditional
more
crit build
towards
that we talk
continuous
about, it's
damage
the
and CC
tank
throughout
build
when
that
they
we
are
suggested
playing-
for the recent
How do I say?
long build. It's
When
really
they're actually
good
going in a
when
war,
we're
going in a
fighting
fight, they can actually
multiple
extend their
assassin
fight
team
longer
compositions
because
here.
of more
But
CC compared to the side of
TNX is a bit
Kagendra.
behind on farm,
And not just
2
that,
levels
yes,
down, so
Kagendra do
where
have
does
more
the late
sustain
game damage
compared to
come from? Because
Dominator. Tapi
Z's losing
when
lane,
it comes to
Gerald's
zoning
a
out,
control main,
hero nya ada
so
macam
who's gonna do
main.
consistent
And then they
DPS?
have Lady Zen.
There is
Especially
no,
mine,
there is no
like mine
damage
can
coming
actually
in
just
right
fish
now.
out,
There's
for
nothing that
example.
they can do. They can only pray right now that
Feishi
Gerald is
ataupun
going to be
Senko
able
pun dah
to
cukup dah.
land his ult
Yes,
to
Senko
multiple
boleh ulti,
members.
tapi at
Look
the
at
same
that.
time, that
Mirror
mine
Domain is gonna be
non-stop
prime.
CC kan.
Yeah, Mirror Domain pop here,
can
but think
push
inside
you
the
to
box,
the
catching
side.
on towards Facial here. Gets the refresh on towards Dolia here. Has the second Mirror Domain. L. First to fall, so this should be a
pula.
free objective for the side of Kagendra.
I mean, you guys feel free to tell me juga lah what you guys feel
right
like.
now. Gerald has no flash, and we see the members of Dominator trying to look for an engage, but that's solid. He's so tanky. He's almost going down, but has the heal. Forced to pop the flash and walk away for safety.
It is going to be a great start over here for Kagendra one more time. They not only
Untuk
start taking the
Kagendra
kills,
memang
they
key
take
point
the
dia kat
turret as
Zan
well.
lah.
That's going to give them
Zan
a bit of an
kena
advantage. They can start
pandai
putting
cari
some
ruang
more
untuk split
pressure.
push and jangan
And
mati
it's going to
langsung.
be TNX, the one that's going to have to try
Sebab
to find
cara
a solution.
Dominator main
He
dengan
cannot
Long
just
and
keep
everything,
letting
Long is
Jay
more
coming
towards
in
engaging
and
team
take
fight
that
punya hero
from
and marksman tau. Dia tak boleh jenis far
Every
macam
single
tu tak
time.
boleh. Long punya gameplay memang
This
early
is
to
not
mid
a
dia memang kena
TNX
pop-pop lepas tu kena engage
This
dengan
is
team
a
fight. So this
Sword
actually
save
advantage for the
exact
side
issue
of
because you have
Azan.
three losing lanes. Who's
Ada
gonna
Azan mati
defend
habis
this
pisang
jungle?
lah macam tu je.
There's
Sia-sia
nothing
lah
that they
Daffy.
can do at the moment.
So
It's
Zan
gonna
kena
go just
jaga
completely
diri
depend on
sikit.
Kagendra just being able just to capitalize out of this advantage that they
Sebab
have.
satu lagi
Look at
saya
that.
suka
If they decide
pasal
just to
apa,
take that over there, it's gonna have to be
Chano
Majin,
ni
it's gonna have to
dia
proc.
boleh control
Majin has no ulti, flashes
face
straight
lane
into
dia
the wall.
not so
he has
bad
to
lah,
pop the
which
flash
means
here because that's so
kalau
much damage
solo
coming from
lawan
Fisher.
3 kat
Look at
bawah
the
pun
gold
kalau
graph
dia
right now.
SOS dia ambil
Fisher
move
is
tu okay lagi.
rocking 4.7k, almost 1.5 ahead of his jungle opponent and everybody
Cuma nak tengok
on
dia
the
punya
map.
Jing ni. Jing dia ni boleh dapat masuk ke tak?
They're having the time of his life. That is the kind of debut that he wanted to have right now, right? That is the exact kind of debut that we wanted to see.
Biasanya jarang orang main
pressure
depan
Progressively
ni tau.
ups the mirror domain on towards Tubzy here. Tubzy, no flash, caught in the middle
boleh menang,
of two
boleh menang
people
Kagendra.
and a
You
mirror
can do
domain
this.
gets executed and that
At least
top
menang
turret
satu lah
will be
game
fallen
ni.
down as an additional prize for Kagendra.
And the problem
dia-
here is that when you see
kan nak
that
mastery hero,
Topsy is being just ganking there, there's
Javis,
nothing that any
you
of the
cannot
other
copy
members
paste
of
cara orang
Dominator
main.
can do.
You kena
Look at
okay.
that right now, it's
You
going
boleh
to
ambil
be
reference
the
orang main
next
macam
target
mana.
is gonna have to be that
Then you
high
try
ground
to think
turret.
about kenapa dia buat
Nothing
combo
that
macam
Dominator
tu.
Esports can do at the
Lepas tu you
moment.
kena cari your arcana
although
and
I
then
am a fan
your
of
own
tank
gameplay yang you
build,
rasa sesuai.
But the problem is, if you are the sole carry
Yang
of your team and you
it
decide to
sticks
go
with
tank
you,
build,
Jing tau.
you
Memang
don't have
boleh
enough damage to
boleh
handle
buat reference
Byron
tapi
and
jangan
a
copy
double
bulat.
of
Sebab semua orang cara
one
main
that we talk
mentality
about
dengan
here. Soleh going in a
gameplay
bit
lain.
aggressive here. TNX with the Heaven and Earth 4
Mana?
catches
Mana?
on towards the backline. Here.
Ready
Senko
Zen punya
gets the
ulti.
refresh coming in by the Celestial Melody. We see Tubzy going in 1v1 against Soleh. Limps away
pakai
with
belum?
a sliver of health here, but that is already mission accomplished coming in for Kagendra, already securing that mid tier 1.
This is looking exactly as the previous game. Kagendra fully in control of the map, fully in control of the goal. They have an advantage.
Asal kucing dalam
Let's see
game
if
ni
they
tak
can learn from
bergaya,
their
kucing
mistakes
aku
and see
bergaya
exactly
ke?
what they want to do. Look at this on the other side though. The damage dealt, CC and Gerald are gonna be the only options of damage coming in for Dominator.
Fisher going into the mirror domain here.
Kalau
Forces the infinite
Kagendra
fastest
boleh
away
tarik
from the
game
hands of
ni
CC,
lebih
but
daripada
Fisher
9
you are caught
minit,
in
dia
the
boleh
middle of 4 dominated members here. That's already the first fumble here, but they do get yet another kill on for Soleh. Big mistake coming in from Kagendra. We talk about how strong their composition is.
Tak ada
but if
orang
you
kacau
fumble
Zan tau
plays
daripada
like this,
awal
that's
tadi.
gonna
So
be
Zan ni selalu kena
detrimental
hati-hati.
here. And Zan in a bit of a long lane here with no back off, but hey, he still managed to get the turret and managed to limp away for safety. But you have such a strong lead. You cannot afford these mistakes here, Solly and Fisher.
Let's take a step back and let's try to breathe a little bit in this situation because Kagendra, they need to be careful in there. Facer cannot just keep dying like that because then that's going to be the same scenario as we had in the past. We don't want that right now. Good from Zan that was able just to capitalize out of the pressure being over there on the clash lane. He came into that tier 2 farm lane with turret in the bottom lane.
Yeah, turret's looking really good so far for the side of Kagendra, but in terms of goal lead, 2,000 solid for the side of the El Manu. I need to see how they play the 10th minute mark to perfection.
Dia tak mirror terus lah.
Apart the game in
Nak
terms of
lawan juga ke
composition,
Tyrion ni? Kenapa
they're
dia tak
looking
pergi
really
je?
good. They're outscaling, they're out damaging. Facial goes in with the mirror domain, forces out the Splendor coming in from Gerald. Still has it, uses it. Facial gets the first assassination here. The
Pandai lah
Tyrant
dia
goes over the
punya.
hands of TNX. Fight continues on, but Senko uses The ultimate keeps all the members alive. Health bars are blinking low, but no one on the side of Kagendra
Dia
is
sini je. Kalau
first one to fall is Lu. CC
Zan
versus the Youth.
Zan
Infinite
menang
Facet, but that's
fight ni tak mati
3-1.
langsung.
A
Should
valid
be boleh
exchange
menang
for the side of
kot.
Kagendra.
Kagendra right now,
Sebab
one more
sekarang ni
time,
Gerald,
just coming in. They know that they have the
memang tak boleh
advantage
nak
over
masuk
here in
langsung
these
kau pasal
fights.
untuk jadi
After the goal,
princess.
they need to start just winning
memang
that.
kena kakau
9
kat
minutes
belakang
and
tu
30
kena
seconds, they're gonna
isolate.
have
Tak ada siapa jaga
over the objectives.
Ladizen dia
Let's look
tengok
at that instant replay one more time. We
Dia
know that
punya jing memang
TNX is
aim
the
dia
one
punya
that plays the
Ladizen.
Tyrant to go to that. What cost
So
him this?
CC dia orang nak buat combination CC tak berjadi.
Or not doesn't really matter because this
Dalam
is still
composition
not the shadow
untuk
variant.
Dominator, dia orang
Sadly,
kena
we
initiate
see
dulu.
Zenko
Kalau
provide
Kagendra
so much
initiate
value
memang dia orang
through the
susah.
healing. Because why? Feishu took off the
Tapi,
only member that had
itulah
heal
Dominator
reduction
rugi lah.
coming
Dia
in from
punya
DNT,
draft
which
lebih
led
kepada
to the heals
early
coming in
game
from the
kot.
Dahlia, the heals coming in from
Ni late game
One
memang
to be
Kagendra lah dah
exponentially
lebih
high. And right now you see Zenko going super aggressively with that
Tapi kalau
aggressive
unless dia buat
unending
salah.
sorrow. TNX will be the first to fall coming in from Dominator Esports. PUBG, no flash, Zenko.
Tapi Chu lagi suka Dominator punya draft lagi. Sebab dia punya draft sedap tu main.
Through the middle of this trade,
Tapi sayang combination dia tak boleh nak
still
buat.
okay for Dominator.
Sebab dia orang biar Zan tu farming lama sangat. Tak ada siapa kalau kau pasang, tak ada siapa kacau Zan kat bawah tu. L datang banyak kali juga, datang nak pok-pok je. Tapi kebanyakan dia orang banyak tekan kepada
I do believe that Yanjin with a Dahlia would have given TNX a lot more stability to use his ultimate to regenerate a little bit more, because right now he's being very aggressive, but every single time that jumps in is falling again and again.
Fully agreed, right? But you still have to give props towards Feishu. Even without the Dahlia, he still engaged that early game super well in getting those early game Crimson buffs from the hands of TNX. As the fight does break off in towards the red side Crimson area, we see Zan flashes away towards safety here, limps away with a sliver of health. That does leave no DPS for the side of Dominator. Esports here. Look at Solid on damage, not even the shield, not a single bit of health removed from this Byron. That's the problem coming in from Dominator's Esports.
cari ruang untuk
no
split push.
consistent DPS.
Tapi persoalannya dia orang sekarang tengah nak ambil
Byron over
overload ni.
here is just such a big problem for them. Right now it's going to be Kagendra, the ones that are going to pocket in that Dark Overlord. It is going to be tough right now for DMT to try to continue the fight. As right now, the pressure on their high ground turrets
kalau
is
dia
going to be
ambil
completely on.
Liang tadi untuk draft last Dominator instead of Lady Zen, saya rasa sini lagi cepat dia boleh menang
end the game with this Overlord is definitely good news.
Mungkin dia orang tengah test draft
just tear down all the tier 3 towers,
so Lady Zen sekarang saya rasa macam
a good setup coming in for that final few push.
dengan
This is
PF
not 16 minutes, this is 12 minutes, and it's already looking super
damage
well
wise best,
on
tapi
for
dia punya
Zan, for
CC is
Feishu.
like
Items are starting to come
tak
in.
selama Princess Frost.
The big difference between this game and the previous one is that in the previous one, Dominator had a hero that could, at the 30-minute mark, just completely carry the team. They do not have that kind of composition right now, so it's looking very, very green for them.
Chrissy Solé flashing in, goes for the backline immediately here. But hey, he's a Byron, he's tanking here. Meanwhile, he's soaking all the damage. TNX is picking off in towards the
sebab dia
top
orang punya
right
ni
here.
memang
Dropping
patut
the
early
member
game. Dia orang
for
kalau tak
the
tekan
high
pada
ground.
early
One more
game,
trade
tak kacau
is
Zan. Memang Zan menang
worth
ni.
it coming in
Tak ada
for
apa-apa
the
dah.
Kagendra draft. They can rotate towards the top side, pick off that top tier tree, and then
Sauli tu pun dia orang 1/5 pun nak
enemy
berjatuh ke
jungle.
Sauli seorang tu pun bapak lama.
That they're going to brute force their way through that turret, and it's going to be only one more high ground turret that is going to be standing. The last fight might be this.
Yeah, Mirror Domain pop chunks out all the remaining members out here. Double unending sorrow. Chunk off the
Time to train, guys.
Time
Time to
coming
train.
in from Dominator. A well-played game coming from Kagendra in this game 3. Denying the 3-0 win for DMT. This is the start to come back for
Zan ni kelakar tau orang dia.
This is not going to
Kalau
be
kau
a
nak
clean
tahu pasal
sweep,
player,
and might be
Zan ni
Kagendra
very
just going
funny.
from a 0-2 to a 3-2. Which of
Sayang
these is
lah.
going to be
Tapi okay.
the scenario?
Kita main pula. Macam nak tengok draft dia orang. Kita habiskan game cepat-cepat. Dia kalau draft macam ada Awin ataupun Long, memang kena fokus kepada mid. Sebab Late game dia macam Aoi ni pada Chu is a bit of a gamble hero jugalah. Dia macam kalau you tak snowball daripada awal, kalau you nak tarik late game susah doh. Bandingkan marksman-marksman lain yang nak kena lawan.
You are in the mid lane.
Tapi saya Dominator punya draft cantik.
Pick a hero
Aku suka
to
draft macam tu.
ban.
Draft hentak yang macam tu. Gocho. Gomo, pakat Gomo. Main ayah ke? Siapa yang Yaria tu?
It's our turn to pick heroes.
Tak nak masuk pro ke dah habis masuk pro lah. Apa penat doh masuk pro ni sebenarnya. Training ni banyak.
Pick your hero.
Nak tak kita try main hero yang bahaya? Let's go! Cu nak train. Cu kalau go solo boleh lah Cu train lah. Last time Cu main kan. Cu main report lah. Cu nak train main lah. Dia ni tengok Rafi tau mak. Handsome lah Abang Rafi dia tu. Kadang-kadang gambar you orang letak ni lucu. Masa kena banyak lah. Ada patch note baru ada. Banyak rework, banyak nerf hero. Nanti kita tengok patch note sama-sama.
Enemy minions will arrive in 5 seconds.
Unity is strength. I seek victory and strongmanship.
Ini naik kereta tapi bapak slow ni.
今回の大会、監修も全員参加者なのね。マンガン大会が毎年にぎやかなのは世間に知れ者が多いという証拠。あなたと私のような。
Alamak. Dia tak dikontrol sangat.
父の気質をほんの少しだけ受け継いでるの。怒らせない方がいいわよ。
Relax. Lama.
桜の花びらはどこに行ってしまうのかしら。
Taruh orang pula. Kita level 4 lagi rugi ni. Tapi tak apa, tunggu sekejap. Datang ni.
ゲームなら簡単に読めるけど
Alamak.
Ally has been slain.
Retreat.
Main dia punya masa susah ni sebab nak control pasif ni kan.
Charge. Ultimate not ready yet. Ultimate not ready yet.
Ada orang lah.
あなたと私のようにね。私は人を待つのが嫌いなの。会いたい人自分から会いに行くわ。
The Overlord and Tyrant have spawned. Ballistae have spawned.
Alamak, kena sedut.
Enemy killing spree.
Macam slow motion. Aku ingat aku terbaca flash. Dia dah habis. Kena farm dulu lah. Choose ke geng sana. Bodoh. Masih baca.
Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed.
Team main hero yang kena selalu main lah. Baru boleh budget range. Cu jarang main dia, so bukan ni Cu nak main banyak dia.
父の気質をほんの少しだけ受け継いでるの。怒らせない方がいいわよ。
Oi, aku lagi kena disedut je aku dia tadi. Ya Allah.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Saya hentam je kat rank. Saya 1 plus flash. Cu. Sebab Cu tak confident sangat dengan Mai, so Cu banyak simpan flash untuk lari instead of untuk combo. Futsi kat lagi futsi.
弱者は執着により苦しみ、強者は執着により戦うものよ。48の札は
Okey, Mat. Ramai betul orang nak bunuh dia.
世の移り変わりも見届けてきたの。Your team has destroyed a turret. 弱者は執着により苦しみ、強者は執着により戦うものです。An ally has been slain. 散った桜の花びらはどこに行ってしまうの？
Retreat!
Your turret has been destroyed.
Tinggal kita nak tolong orang, kita yang mati macam biasa. Lemah lah aku punya main ni.
An ally has been slain.
Ya cu, main cu.
An enemy has been slain. Enemy double kill.
Cicak gitu pun feeding banyak kan ni.
Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed.
Nak aku boleh kan dia lihat mana nak pergi kat sana. Susah nak boleh.
Enemy killing spree. Enemy double kill. An ally has been slain. マンガン大会が毎年賑やかなのは世間に知れ者が多いという証拠。あなたと私のように。
Weh, kena pula. Boleh kena ke Ujung kuku dia tadi.
The Overlord and Tyrant have been enhanced. Cannons moving out. Our tower is under attack.
やってみなきゃ会えるかどうかなんてわからないでしょ。
Masuk lagi.
Enemy rampage.
Ini cicak ni.
Ultimate not ready yet.
今の紹介は
Cicak
父
kita
の
ni
頃より
macam
ずっ
ni.
と配慮してるのよ。
Our high ground tower is under attack. My ultimate is ready.
Shooting star. Make a wish.
Assemble.
私のルールは約束を破った人には二度と適用されないわ。今の紹介は父の頃よりずっと繁盛してるのよ。
Aduh. Ah, bodoh lah aku ini. Dulu lagi susah kan. Tapi cuskan yang dulu lagi sebenarnya.
That's how a battlefield legend plays. You wouldn't understand. Is under attack.
Kui dia power lah tapi asyik kena je. Cica kita ni kena report lah. Dia main macam sengaja troller. Aku pun troller juga kan. Dia macam ni.
We're behind in
Renci dia
gold.
kata bot.
Keep farming.
Bukan cu lah saya.
父の気質をほんの少しだけ受け継いでる。怒らせない方がいいわよ。
Susah lah nampak confident main ni.
Enemy has been slain. High ground tower under attack.
Ini juga. Di kanan ada. Pizza Punks. Nama rebel betul. Hai Tika Maslan. Ya tu, cu tak sihat sangat lah lately. Cu jarang guys sebab busy sikit.
An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. Enemy rampage.
Pisang lah kawan. Tak boleh buat apa lah tu. Bagi sajalah geng. Kita bagi sajalah. Lepas ni kita menang. Cik nak tengok draft Dominator. Atika Missilian. Semua orang cakap hi. Lepas tu terus gerak kan. So cuma macam nak borak. Korang pun tak sempat. Korang tanya khabar korang. Teruk lah mai cu. Dah cukup training lah.
No worries.
Cica ni MVP. Dia mati bodoh dia tadi. Tak cu nak tengok game ni. S4.
Hansing versus Jing. Oh my god, those are nice. And right now we're getting it as well. Dominator crafting a cheeky mid-roam composition here. We have the Bond Weaver plus the Princess Frost. You CC with the
ni Dominator nak menang ni
and
main
go in
draft
with the Princess Frost freeze. So if they can pull that off multiple times in the early game, that could be pretty big. But check out Kagendra here.
Pandai
The
doh, Kagendra
delivery
draft juga.
system being hovered and locked
So,
in.
Lempo
So
ke
you
banyak?
will see Fisher with that Sword Master popping the duel to the depth towards the backline, carrying the ultimate on that Liu Bang, immediately exploding them. But check out Dominator too. Look at that Futsu.
Dia jawab balik Dominator
Futsu.
sebab Liu Bang kan
Wise
boleh
sage
teleport
Futsu.
dan
I
dia boleh
love
split
the-
and
I
dia
love
boleh
the
tolong
Futsu
member.
because it has
So
one
dia jawab
of the
balik
very
dengan Futsu,
interesting
so Futsu boleh
mechanics
split
in the
push
game.
juga and
Like,
Futsu pun boleh lock
Futsu is
orang
just
juga.
the master of those
Shangguan senang
1v1s.
lagi.
You take a 1v1 against the Futsu and it's very difficult to
Shangguan
beat
sekarang
him
tengah tak
because of
sesuai
the
lah. Dia lembut
because of
sangat.
the nature of the design of the hero.
Sekarang banyak main
It can just
Futsu.
sustain a lot, it can deal a lot of damage. It has in his ultimate, it has a very nice control. It is a beautiful, beautiful hero. And when you play it in different strategies, you can actually use it not only for fighting, but just to split, push, destroy turrets, and then just for him to run away. Very mobile,
I mean-
very strong pick.
And
Player.
to your point as well, let's add on one more.
Yeah.
If Liu Bang wants to ult away to help Fisher, Ozzy's like, bet. Norway, I'm just gonna pummel all your towers in that one lane.
That's it. Done. You're gone. Turrets are gone in there. Like, it's just a matter of destruction. It just completely depends on the strategy that you want to play, right? Because if you are able to do that, it's gonna have to be an answer.
Hak tu just dah.
Imagine this.
Tu tengah tengok orang
let's just draw,
tengok dia
let's
apa
just
nak
draw
tengok
the
dia.
two options in here. Let's imagine that they're just gonna be having a 1v1 over
Muntah,
there
cu
in
tengah
the
nak
clash
tahan
lane.
muntah ni.
Liu Bang has the upper
Cucu tak
hand
pergi
because he can
watch
actually
party
use
pukul
his
5.
ultimate, his battle command, in order to move himself, keep himself into the
Chocolate
fights.
hair,
So then they can start
On
winning
the
the fights.
chocolate.
But if they start winning the fights and Futsu decides not to join, they're gonna start losing the lanes. And we know that losing the lanes and getting super minions too early in the game is going to be bad news for Dominator.
So, like that mentioned, right? Every single engage that's being committed by Kagendra needs to be getting more value. Meaning that, let's say, if we go for the engage, we cannot just get one. We need to get more than one. If we get more than one, sure, then we can mitigate the turret loss in the side lane. But if we go for the engage, we get 0 or only 1, turrets are not going to be a happy one in this game.
Nuai, Flowborn.
Let's look at the mid lane right now, the matchup between Senku and Gerald that we highlighted at the beginning of the stream. It's going to be a Nuwa against a Princess Frost. The Princess Frost with the very strong, very big area of effect with the winters here. But the Nuwa, as the time goes, with the inhalation, the amount of damage that the Nuwa can deal makes it a very mid to late game hero.
Yeah, the Celestial is one of the...
Very different styles.
For me, the Celestial on the hands of Senko, it's actually one of the prime picks in this meta. I would say that she's definitely S tier in terms of late game. Sure, you can say that early game, her wave clear is pretty bad, not to say good, but if you're into certain matchups like a Princess Frost, it's still okay because both of your wave clears are pretty mediocre, which equates it into a 50-50.
Let's look at the rotations in here. Look at that. Like they clean wave and then immediately come and try to put pressure over here on CC on the channel. So we'll be seeing a lot of that. Junglers just doing what the junglers do. But look at that, Lu being taken extremely low. He's gonna have to run away from that.
Yeah, no common spells being popped by both ends here, but Lu getting the better end of that trade.
Nah, kalau semua pilihan antara dua draft ni,
with a sliver of health here, as we see towards the bottom side here. L getting pushed back by the creation block here, going
one of the most balanced draft.
So both roamers have to back off here, but Zan and also Lu, they don't have innate healing like L on the Diadea Bong Weaver, so that's gonna be a relatively good news for the Dominator duo.
Cuma mid game Kagendra mungkin
advantage. They're just trying to calculate all of the damage. They're playing the numbers game right now at this moment in time.
Mid game is more towards Kagendra.
Look at that, they moved and it's already a whole
mungkin
minute
lebih kepada Dominator
over there at the farm lane. Nothing that, no rotations whatsoever to the mid, allowing TLX just to take full control of the gold.
I think that's a scary thing about CC, right? Every single rotation that we've seen from Kagendra is to suppress CC, making sure that Zan doesn't have a horrible time in farm lane. As long as Zan safely scales 3 items, then laning phase doesn't really matter. But if Zan falters in laning phase, that's going to be a pretty big issue, especially if you're playing a hero that's super late game here. Lu checks the bush, has the invincible passive on towards the spell, doesn't get crowd control here. CC spawns the wolf pack here, forces Zan to back away towards safety here. We see this 3v3 yet again. Isaac is revolving around the farm lane.
It's just revolving around here, and the problem is that Facer cannot make it on time just to try to capitalize out of those fights, right? Like it's been very difficult for Facer to really understand the timing of those little fights, because if he could actually come in with his ulti, he could have caught 1 or 2 kills at least.
That's the thing, right? Whereby early game jungle actually doesn't gank that much. It's really revolving around the mid and roam to create chances for the team. And once after 4 minutes, that's where junglers start having the Axe of Torment, the first 2 items Power Spike. That's where they actually start being more active on the map. So it's down to the mid and roam this game. Jurl, L from side Dominator, Senko and Lu from the side of Kagendra to look for those early plays. And at the very least, this early game is that 3v3 in towards the bottom side. No one is giving a single edge towards either side.
No one is just allowing an option here. Look at that, the mirror domain is going to be proc one more time. It is just trying to force them away. For TNX, that mirror domain is going to be a very important skill.
Tapi yang kena Dominator nak menang memang bergantung pada Jaro punya skill lah. Kalau dia boleh kena, Macam Dominator punya
Yeah, that's a
initiator memang
painful
bergantung
cooldown
pada
to be
Jerry punya
committed coming in
stun.
from the Dominator
Untuk follow
jungler.
up.
But we do see Fisher
Tapi kalau
not putting
Kagendra
too much
memang bergantung pada
focus
Fishy punya
on towards the
initiation.
Tyrant here. We do see due to the death, pop over towards top
Tapi-
Z. Have to force the flash, but a good stage might
Combo
blocks
ni sakit
Fisher
tau.
in place. And
Fishy
on towards the
dengan
flip side
Solid
here,
punya
we
combo
see
ni.
TNX securing the objective safely for the team.
Jangan
Comes the
TNX
mirror
juga,
domain,
Abibai.
locks on towards Lu. Lu using the Tremor Smash to
Eh,
bail himself
bawa
out
tu
for
dia
safety
main.
here. Jurl has a position, freezes Lu, drops the Winters here, gets the first blood for Dominator Esports, opens up the bot side of the map.
Right over there on the edge of that frigid prison, Lu thought that he
Red
was
team
safe, but
has
he was
destroyed
caught
a tower.
today by Gerald. Gerald with that millimetric precision allows him to take that first blood in here for Dominator Esports.
Top side here, Solid has to commit the flash here. Top Z using the stage might, locking Solid in towards its place here. But still early game Fuzi doesn't commit too much of the damage here. But hang on a moment though with those
Ni
passive
Fuzi
refreshes
dah
here.
gila
This
ni.
is super duper close. Is he
Sakit
going
bodoh
for the
nak lawan
dive here?
Pak
He's
Cikgu ni.
capable of doing so. But check out the rotations here. Kagendra needs to defend their clash lane here. So a big rotation bails Solid out. And he is alive for another day.
Right over here, Dominator Esports a little bit with the advantage. I'm not loving the performance by Fisher on that Musashi right now. He had a very big advantage over here for the objectives, and he decided not to take that. Of course, top Z
That
came
was the
in,
melee here.
but look at
Catches
that.
on towards PNX. And right now we see Solid being frozen in the midst of everything here. But no real follow-up here.
Oh.
Not enough members here. Well, we do see a pause coming in at the 5th minute mark.
Nak tekan
We
dia
do need to
resume
check out
kan.
what sort of
Sebab
difficulties
kita dah
we'll be
lagi kan.
having right now.
Let's wait and see. We love having a fair game and we love having clean games. That's why in the moments that we have this kind of situations, we can always go into a technical pause, and then the referees are going to be in
minta pause
charge of fixing any technical issues that we have with our game. That allows us a little bit more time just to kind of analyze what is going on in this match at the moment. What do you think it is giving right now, Dominator Esports, the advantage that they have against Kagendra?
I think
That's why they
Dominator, they are
Macam tu cakap
more,
tadi.
how would I say?
Memang Dominator
direct,
punya
and
setter
their
adalah Princess for
initiations are
Zora.
more cleaner compared to Kagendra. Like we see Kagendra,
Kagendra
their
boleh nak
first
menang,
due to the
tapi
death,
untuk
plus the Liu Bang ultimate was on
combo
towards
Musashi tu,
Z's Fuzi. But
Musashi
Fuzi
tu kena
managed
masuk,
to
dia
get
kena
himself out towards safety,
betul-betul main
neutralize
macam
that
cak-cak
2v1. Wow! Dominator successfully caught Lu and the Tyrant at that 4th minute mark. So that's a very, don't want to say horrible, but it's not worth it. You know?
Dalam
Yeah.
phone kan. So,
Of
macam,
course,
dia
yeah, I
boleh nak
agree with
tekan.
you. Like, I don't think that it was a worth
inilah dia.
exchange right over there. One of the good things that I am liking a lot about Dominator is that TNX on the Jin is being extremely mobile, and it's got a very big advantage right now. Right when we go back into the game and we're able to see the gold, you will be able to see the TNX at the moment, not only with the level advantage, but with the gold advantage on top of what the other Kagendra members can do.
Yeah, and we saw the second ultimate just now in the middle tower before this pause. It was good, but there's just no follow-up, because if you see towards the Kagendra's draft in the early game, the only person that could realistically assist the team was maybe the Annihilation coming in from Senko. But still, early game Nua, there's no damage until that 12 to 14 minute mark, where
Yes,
Nua
exactly.
and Flowball Marksman steady will starts ramping those third
Itu
and fourth
apa
items
doh
here.
yang
So
belakang
this
tu
early game
kipas
is gonna be quite quiet for Kagendra
Yang
if
ada
Fisher and
lambang
Solid doesn't find those
dekat phone dia
markers.
orang tu. Cuba tengok tu kipas eh.
It is one of the beautiful things about mobile games, right? Like just the trade-offs that you need to be doing. And in Honor of Kings is not an exception. Nuwa just being able to, in the early game, not be that dominant, just having to play a little bit more of a tactical game. But then as the time passes and as we go into the later games, the damage that can be dealt by that Nuwa is incredibly high.
One of the best late game mages, I would say, Celestial Nua. I think it's even stronger than a God and Mo because of how strong her range actually is. So that's going to be something we want to check out later on when it goes into that marker. But so far in this early game, it has been the jungle showdown with the Clash laners. Both Solé and also Feishu, and also topup and TNX looking for those big map plays on those engages that we see.
All right, I know that the players are getting ready just to go back. You can see them already set, and we are back. We're back online. It's our game, KIS4. We are gonna retake the game back again over here as we hit the 6 minutes mark.
At the 6-minute mark, we do see Kagendra losing out a 1,000 gold deficit in towards the hands of Dominator Esports. Topside turret looks to be in shambles coming in from Kagendra, and on the flip side, TNX perfectly catches the wave crumbling into that bot tower. So at the very least, this part of the game is looking very Dominator heavy, and take a look at this part of the map. They're looking to invade this Crimson Gold. TNX gets it, swaps out with the mirror, and is out alive. A smooth criminal.
Smooth, very, very suave over there. Look at that solo as well, just coming in, being taken extremely long. That's going to be topup, the one that is going to be ganking. So 3v1, he's going to have to flash away. Zan is going to take on CC. CC is going to fall, but topup is able to run away.
But in terms of objectives, losing out the mid turret and at the brink of losing the bottom tower, sure, pick CC. We got all 3 towers from all across the map. This is a horrible exchange for Kagendra. Dominator is winning the map so hard.
I will take that, man. I'm telling you, if it is gonna have to take my marksman's life, it's alright as long as I can just trade that for 3 different turrets all over the map. Look at that one more time. It's going to be Dominator Esports, the ones that are in control of the game right now.
Yeah, this is
Late game cukup ke 4 orang Dominator nak burst lempo? Boleh je sebab ada Chano.
The Celestial, the Steady Will,
Physical, critical tinggi je Chano ni boleh cair je si lempo tu.
Signs of hope as long as the goal doesn't break over that 4 to 5k marker.
Kalau si Feishu dah start
you bring in a very interesting topic, right, Sagi? Because if Kagendra can just kind of just keep pushing it and pushing it and push it, we've already seen in previous games when that global marksman is online what it can do.
Buat silap dulu
right now, one more time, the golem is going to be the target. And it's going to be another steal by TNX.
Thank you, QS.
He's got it done.
Semoga dimurahkan rezeki banyaknya.
Paying back for whatever Feishu did to him in that previous game here. But mid lane here, Annihilation catches on towards Gerald here. Beautiful engage coming in from Feishu due to the death. Mirror Domain catches on towards no one here. It's just a wave
so
here
that's
to
why
Zon.
I have
Has to back away
cherry
as
berry.
this
You know,
TNX
cherry
build
berry
is
we call
looking
it
for
diarrhea.
a tanky
I'm
Jane.
diarrhea,
But you can see,
so I cannot
that's
go
the
out.
aggression that
But I
I
want
want
to
to be
go the
seen coming in
watch
from
party
Feishu and Solid. This two
Macam
combination
kenal, kan?
needs to find
Are you going to the
more
watch party
room for
today?
Kagendra if they want to break this game open.
Exactly. I completely agree with you in that, Sagi. They need to do things. They need to come in and start breaking stuff. If they don't break stuff and they just let this keep going, nothing is gonna happen. They have a very good option. Movement around. Just get some dynamic in here, and then you'll be able to see that it's gonna pay off for them.
Yeah. Right now it's looking really 50-50 between these two teams. It's coming down to execution later on in
yang putri bagi.
topup gets the first kill, but panning on towards the top side here. We see Fisher yet again finding another engager. But backline, we see TNX jumping in with the mirror domain. Catches on towards Zon. But this is a tag chain. There's no real damage to be frightful about. They do trade jungle for jungle. But in terms
Tapi dia
of
boleh
overall
menang
kills,
ni, Kagendra ni boleh dua
Kagendra
sama
takes
ni.
it 1-4-2 in this exchange.
TNX had his eyes on Zan. Zan was taken extremely low, but the
as
problem
long
is
as
that TNX
Chano
did
tak
not have the
mati,
critical damage
it's not
that
a
he
problem
needed.
yet.
If he would have had in there a tiny
For
bit more of
Dominator.
damage, Zan would have been got out of the,
Kesan
the equation, and probably TNX
keluar
would
dah.
have survived that gank.
Lapar.
It was not on that turn. He chose to go for the tanky build for that Jing. So it's a very
Masih
big
nak
problem
pengsan
because
ni.
he's just keep dying.
Kalau ada nak masuk bahaya tu duduk dapur
Gives
sorang-sorang
you
takut
more
jatuh
room to survive, but it also takes away the burst damage potential on the Jing.
Yes.
But it's give and take, right? He chose that lifestyle and he is slightly punished for it. But right now, 10 minutes. Shadow objectives are all across the map. We see movements coming in from both teams. Both teams wanting to look at
Kalau
this
dia
Shadow
orang boleh
Tyrant. The fight
tangkap.
may be breaking out
Dia
in
dia
each
dia, dia macam dia cuba bagi tangkap korang
Already
kenapa Dominator
50%
tu
on
rasa
that
mesti
Shadow
boleh
Tyrant,
menang
and then
ni,
Face is so far away
Sebab,
from
okay,
the battle.
the thing
that
about
it's gonna be
Liu Bang,
free. It's gonna
macam
be
dia orang
free
punya
Dark
gameplay ni
Tyrant
untuk
for
Kagenda
DMT.
punya
That was relatively
Kagenda
an
punya
easy one
composition
with
ni
zero
yang
contention
korang tak
coming
nampak
in
bawah
from
sekali tu
Kagenda.
Liampo kan.
Quality-wise, they are down to
Liampo
50-50.
Musashi dengan Liu Bang.
But
Yes,
Fraser
best
gives up
combo Musashi
entirely
dengan
off
Liu
their
Bang
control.
bila
Solid
Musashi masuk Liu Bang
gets
terus
checked
ulti
on
lepas tu
that
boleh dapat
push. We do see a push
extra
being
damage and
formulated
extra
by
defense bila
Dominator
dia
members
teleport
on
kan.
mid
But
and
the problem
top of
is
this
diorang
map.
ada Princess Frost tau. So
Their
Princess
target
Frost
is
ni
gonna be
basically
that
counter
flash
benda-benda
lane,
yang sekelompok
huge
macam ni.
turret,
So bila
and it's
diorang
going
try
to
nak
fall
masuk
as the
dekat
minions are
someone
gonna
je
put some
untuk
pressure
pick
on
off,
the Hydras. They
Princess
might
Frost
not
mati
have the
terus boleh mati
formation
kot.
to actually do anything
So
here.
susah.
This
Diorang nak,
round of
diorang
push
punya
is to
combo susah
pluck
nak jadi
away
untuk
all
Kagenda
the
sebab dia
outer
punya
tier
combo memang
towers,
kena
and then once it's
berkumpul.
done, they might look for that
Walhal
shadow
Dominator
overlord
punya
here.
bila
Maybe
dia pick
Kagenda
Princess
not
Frost
wanting
tu,
to fight the 10th minute
dia
fight is
dah
to stall
deny
more
the fact
time
yang
for Zan, for Senko
kau
to
nak
skill into that late game marker
5v5
here.
kau
But take a
boleh
look at
menang
Luke
sebab
here,
area of
getting pinned
effect
down
dengan
by
CC dia lama.
the
And
Diadea.
damage
Very
was-
low in that health bar here. Opens up the map on towards the top side for CC to drop those signaling shots on that turret. Already half health here. But with that rotation, mid is open, everywhere else is open. Tyrant is about to be done for Dominator. They will recollect this jungle resource and look at the Overlord.
Kenapa?
The Overlord is going to be the next target. 5 seconds over there. That's going to slow them down a tiny little bit. But Facer does not have vision of what's going on. It is going to be an easy DMT Shadow Overlord.
Yeah, there's no contention coming in from the side of Kagenda here. They're not that behind in terms of gold, but they're just giving away these shadow objectives like it's free bees going over to the side of Dominator.
Okay, salam.
I'm so sorry, man. Like, it's just, it feels right now.
Okay, Kagenda kalau dia boleh bunuh Jerry dulu
Kagenda does not have a
without
possible answer
kena
to this, more than just praying just for
free
the
hit
time
daripada
just to keep
sisi,
passing
okay
and
mungkin
just
dah
keep
boleh.
building
Tapi
Zan.
masalah kau dia
If Zan is to
fokus
fall
kat
in
Jerry.
one
Kalau
of
sisi
these,
senang nak dapat
in one of these battles,
Chano lah. Chano dia orang senang nak dapat free hit. So they have to pick
Talking
and
about
choose.
this, top
And then
side
bila dia
tier
fokus
three
tengah
already
fight,
fallen for
Futsal
the
tak
side of
payah join
Kagenda
pun tak
here.
apa.
With the superior overlord marching
Futsal
down the
dengan
bottom
Lee
side here,
Sin
this might happen the
antara
same
hero yang paling
for
cepat
this
sekali. Betul ada
bottom tier
Futsal, ada
three.
Chano.
Winter is here,
Kau nak
dropping
push
onto
cepat
zone with
gila
the
tau.
members here.
It's
Where's
so
the
difficult
retaliation?
untuk
There's
korang
no
nak
replay
make control
coming from
lawan
Kagenda.
composition
This
ni.
is such a slow
Sebab
bleed
inside
coming
of
in from the
Kagenda,
elbow.
diorang tak ada siapa yang boleh
One
clear
more
clean
Vanguard
wave.
is going to come in and put pressure over there
And
on the mid lane.
Good domain.
Look at that. The Musashi coming in from behind.
Oh,
He's going
Chano
to find
mati.
Chano is going to fall. The mirror domain is going to be proc. The target is going to be the
Diorang main
crystal.
map
The
control
crystal is
ni.
going to fall.
Draft diorang
Dominator
memang strong.
Esports is going to take the
Diorang
third
macam tu,
game and
macam
the
korang
first
kena counter
victory.
balik.
It is KIS 4.
Siapa nak
Very well
Clear-
done coming
clear
in from
click
the
wave atau
Dominator
minion wave
Esports
cepat.
here. Once again in the international stage,
And map
they
control
pulled
yang
the
boleh
first
teleport
victory
balik.
against
Liu Bang
an
boleh,
IKL team
tapi Liu
for
Bang,
the Indonesia IKL regions here.
dia orang
Props
punya
to them. And
composition
look at
tadi
TNX,
memang
he's just
Liu Bang
standing
tu
there. He's just
boleh nak
farming,
lawan
pointing
dengan
it at
Futsal
the
punya
Dominator
counter
Esports,
wave. Tapi
showing
tapi memang
absolute
Futsal lagi laju.
dominance against Kagenda.
Dia tak boleh nak split, tak boleh nak clear, tak boleh nak map control.
For a tiny little bit. I think that he's earned it. He's earned it.
He's
Let
earned it.
him go and go crazy a little bit. Very well done. Dominator Esports comes in a very dominant fashion. They came into this game. This was the
I think it's really evident that
sports
in this game itself,
really way better than Kagenda.
I think Isaac, this game
It's
itself,
not like way
it showed us
better
the
lah. I
curve of
think-
Dominator's ability in adapting towards the game.
In
The game,
terms
where
of potential wise, they know what they're doing with. Kenapa tiba bahasa Cina pula aku ni? Ni apa ni? Apa ni? Bak apakah ini? Game. Rosak ni. Okay. Raffi tak ada, cuma main seorang ni. Lelah, Mai Chu lemah lagi. Chu kena belajar. Benda tu, flow coin. Nak guna kat mana ni lah. Apa yang Chu dapat tadi lah? Dia bagi apa tadi? Apa yang dalam mail yang pelik tu? Tapi aku tak buka lagi ni. Kenapa dia ada? Kita restart game ni. Aku ni dah lah OCD kalau benda merah-merah ni kan. Dia kan kalau macam case tadi, boleh je nak lawan. Sebenarnya tak salah draft dia. Cuma dia orang memang tak boleh bagi ruang. Memang tak boleh 1 second pun buang masa. Maknanya tak boleh bagi ruang yang dia orang free farm, free push. Apa lagi? Aku tak tekan ni. Ni apa? Kau ni nasib baik aku. Aku tak kenal kau. PS4 punya benda tu apa benda tu?
Kill.
Ni lama betul nak dapat yang mula main set tu kan. Itu kita beli dah satu.
The Sanctifier returns.
Cuba beli yang apa 5,000 ni.
Shine and become someone that
Ni
everyone
Dawn of ni.
admires.
Cantik Athena punya.
I came,
Ya Allah, aku. Kenapa semua orang ni baik dia aku ni?
I saw, I protected.
Dah beli Oracle ni lama betul lah nak kumpul.
Beneath the temple, endless tears rain down. The hand with no right to grasp
Bila Cu dah dapat
is lost
ni kan,
in a
maknanya Cu
storm.
akan start main jungle ni. Cu rasa Cu tengah minat jungle lagi lah daripada benda lain. Lepas ni Nova lawan kan? Mana prediction pre-match? Yeah, okay, kita predict. Tapi ini macam tak untung kalau predict ni kan. Yang paling untung kan, tapi sebab dia first game, paling untung Dominator lawan KG ni sebab kita akan dapat lebih. Yang ni tak banyak ni multiplier dia ni. Nongshin BTR ni. Kita letak semualah. Sorry BTR. Aku rasakan sepertinya Nongshim. Sebab Cu minat Nongshim. Cu minat gila Nongshim punya gameplay. Nongshim punya gameplay dia main sabar gila. Ni apa yang mahal sangat. Sini pun boleh. Ni kau anumannya ni apa benda dah?
Fight until the stage is restored and the drum.
Cu dah dapat tau Jarvis. Kalau Jarvis tengok Cu first time Cu draw Yaria, Cu draw 73 je. Tak sampai habis. Salah dulu kejap.
The most moving melody touches the heart. I can hear the voices from my home. Light years. The most moving melody touches the heart. The countless stars in the sky shall guide my way home.
Sekejap Cu nak tukar frame
The
tadi, nak
most
tengok
moving
frame.
melody touches the heart.
Frame yang baru dapat daripada... Macam mana frame ni? No, Wonderboard. Frame siapa ni?
The shiny far away from me, black hole gate. Speed to look into, to letting the world to make the call and to sing the song for you. Let's try to get the picture of the lion to your. I can hear the voices from my home, light years
Yaria,
away.
mana Yaria? Aku tak main tu Yaria kan? Cu tak tengok di skin Yaria ni. Tak ada orang nak pakai.
Lose yourself in the rhythm.
Aku suka lagu tu sebenarnya. Lepas tahu lirik dia. Selama ni aku tak tahu pun lirik dia. Jomlah kita main. Kita push rank. Free skin tu yang Anuman tu boleh dapatkan free kalau dapat prediction banyak. If you got a lot of great prediction, then you're gonna get the skin anyway. Anuman, tengok skin dia Anuman. Dia ni ke West ni. Si Dharma ada skin ni juga.
The one
Jadi
who
ke
wreaked
West.
havoc in the heavenly court 500 years ago. Oh. Here comes the...
I must burn. I'll set the world ablaze.
Apa ni?
You're in the clash lane.
Clash lane pula. Tapi malas grind. Malas bis. Dia malas bila dapat timbangan kan. Bersabarlah. Sekarang siapa sedap tu nak main ni? Cu nak try lah main Clash Lane yang lain sikit. Tapi Cu kena lock semua, alamak. Ni je yang Cu ada.
Pick your hero.
Ambil lah ni. Kau baru tengok game lah ni tadi. Nak main cicak? Jom try.
Pick your hero.
Main je lah Sekejap. Cicak. Cu lupa dah. Lama tak main cicak.
Said it himself. I am the greatest smith of the Dawn Seekers.
Ashley ni nak main
Turn to
marksman.
pick heroes. Seconds left.
Okay, let's go. Oh wow, opai. The opai is real. Jom. Lupalah skill cicak apa tu. Lama dah aku main cicak, aku tak tahu pun skill dia apa ni.
May honor be
Enemy
with you.
minions will arrive in 5 seconds. All forces, move out!
Dah bagi cuba baca je.
Care for twists or tricks? If you want to fight, then fight!
First blood. Sweet. An ally has been slain.
Long ago, the first lands had a ladder to the heavens. Climbing it, even humans could reach the sky.
Sakit weh. Woi,
You have been slain.
tak bergerak aku.
An ally has been slain.
Kuat juga Mulan ni.
I don't care for
Cuma tak pernah lawan
twists
Mulan.
or tricks. If you want to fight, then fight. Draw the flame.
Enemy missing. An
Copy that.
enemy has been slain.
Bapak lah Mulan ni.
An ally has been slain.
Sakit ni Mulan weh.
Slain.
ni? Aku kena baca ni. Cu tak tahu skill Mulan lah. Kita dah 2 kali dah. Kita biar je dia nak farm ambil tepi tu ambil. Main save je, survive je.
3 parts coal,
Tak
7
reti
parts
tu ni.
iron. Fire steady, flame even. Heart still as water. And the fire speaks for itself.
Overlord and Tyrant.
Yang kena combo dia apa? Combo dia?
Ballistae have spawned.
I don't care for
I don't know the
twists or
combo. Tell me the
tricks.
combo, man.
If you want to fight, then fight.
Retreat.
An ally has
Sorry,
been slain.
my
Enemy
bad.
killing spree.
Walau. Tak boleh buat apa combo dia ni?
When I was a kid, my favorite pastime was curling up by the forest fire, listening to the
Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain.
Alah, aku pergi kat situ. Yang berpusing tu atau masuk. Cu tak faham combo. Kena report lah aku ni kan. Cu tak faham Mulan punya skill. Nanti Cu study. Cu kalau clash lane dengan
Your turret has been destroyed.
clash lane lah banyak Cu tak tahu
Has
hero.
been slain.
Jungler pun Cu tahu lagi. Cu patut tukar rule lah sekali.
Retreat. Copy that.
Shut down. An ally has been slain.
Lands had a ladder to the heavens. Climbing it, even humans could reach the sky.
Killing spree. Your team has destroyed a turret. Double kill.
Main tadi. Aku tak boleh lawan dia. I don't know how to fight.
An enemy
just
has
leave.
been slain.
Don't disturb my forging.
Saya tak mentality macam tu je. Kalau aku rasa tak boleh nak menang dia 2 kali 3 kali aku mati dah.
No weapon is born divine. Only after impurities are burned away
Cakap dia nak lawan Mulan macam mana ni?
show. Draw the flame.
Tahu dah aku.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Dia takut aku tahu. Flash lagi ke depan lagi.
Every
Cu
tool
dah tahu
has
dah
its
dia
own
minyak je
nature.
tu. Sebab dia tahu Cu kalah dia.
Feel it
Di atas dia Cu
carefully.
split.
Enemy rampage. An ally has been
My
slain.
bad.
Enemy double kill.
Slow
An
and
ally
steady,
has
everyone.
been slain.
Let's keep on farming for now.
No weapon is born divine. Only after
Your
impurities
turret
are
has
burned
been
away does its
destroyed.
edge show.
Tak boleh dah datang.
Work's done,
Tolong tim
and
lah.
I'm heading home. Please, no dumplings tonight. I've said it countless times already. Don't disturb my forging.
Alamak. Aduh, kena pula. Apa nasib aku ni? Basically, you get the charm untuk 1 second begitu and dia buka semua skill. Oh ya, yeah. Sakit gila Mulan ni. Dia fat sebab aku je ni.
Now
040 tu. Ramai pula. Boleh lah. Nampak tu. Membantu satu.
When I was a kid, my favorite pastime was curling up by the forge fire, listening to the progenitor tell myths.
Mati macam tu je weh. Stress aku. Tak boleh lah cu lawan.
Nice killing.
Kenapa I got such a great husband? Okay. Bagus lah buat makanan. Saya tengah stres. Saya main cicah bapak. Tak boleh lawan Mulan ni. Saya kalah. Dominator menang. Kejap nanti kita buat mukbang. Dah sejuk lah nanti ya. Saya 05 ni. Sakit lah lawan Mulan. Saya tak boleh buat apa.
An ally has been slain.
Lah saya flash lah. Cucuk-cucuk je.
The Overlord and Tyrant have been enhanced. Cannons moving out.
Dalam belakang. Ha?
Enemy has been slain. Killing spree.
Sekejap, saya tak boleh nak fokus untuk cakap ni. Tak, masalahnya saya nak sampai attack tak boleh, faham tak? Sebab Mulan tu saya terus mati. Tu saya tak cari Mulan ni, sakit lah Mulan ni. Tak lawan. The Mulan is my issue. Boleh ampuni dah, kenapa?
Your team has destroyed a turret. An ally has been slain.
Has its own nature.
Assemble.
Feel it carefully.
Kita ada primer pun ni. Ambil. Bodoh lah.
You have been slain.
Stres eh. Nak buat video habis dah. Kita buat video dulu kejap lagi. Nanti cuba buat video depan korang. Sorry, kejap. Tunggulah saya nak ambil dah.
I've said it countless times already. Don't disturb.
Saya nak makan ni, tunjuk mukbang korang sebab saya tahu siapa yang masak ni. Putri. Wife Adam. Dia bagi tu. Bagi Rafi dengan cu. Dia bagi kat Rafi lah.
3 parts coal.
Dia bagi rempah tu, dia bagi Indomie.
Your turret has been
Kenapa tak
destroyed.
kita beli Indomie?
Still as water. And the fire.
Yelah, tapi kenapa tak cakap je kita suruh beli Indomie? Adalah Malaysia. Ni kat The Mulan. The Mulan is my worst. Tarik asyik pula. Stresnya aku. Nak marah. Tapi aku yang bodoh. Yang punya pun suka masuk seorang. Kita try main hari ni hero kita jatuhkan rank kita tak apa. Sebab tu Cu tak berani nak main dengan viewer sangat lagi. Sebab sebab banyak benda yang Cu tak faham lagi game ni.
Our high ground tower is under attack. An enemy has been slain.
Saya tengah jaga dia.
The first lands had a ladder to the heavens. Climbing it, even humans could reach the sky.
Saya kena ikut dia ni. Nanti dia kena tenggelam. Boleh menang lah. Saya takut dia yang mati.
Tadi dia stun.
3 parts coal, 7 parts iron. Air steady, flame even. Heart still as water. And the fire speaks for itself. Shut down.
Alamak, angkut pula. Oh, satu. Okey, dapat.
Nice killing.
Sama tak baru tak kena report seorang diri. Maksudnya habis apa habis. Diorang pun macam tak apa nak faham juga. Sopik.
Our high ground tower is under attack.
Cuma malam ni nak main Phasmophobia lah. Cuma nak main game yang santai sikit. Bukan kompetitif.
Our high ground tower is
Ni
under
cerita ni
attack.
kalau Yaya ada. Main dengan Yaya ke apa? Ni kira mi gacuan ni.
Turret has been destroyed.
Dia bagi yang putri bagi apa?
Enemy has been slain. Enemy rampage. Steady, flame even. Heart still as water.
Dia mesej saya cakap dia ada bagi mi tapi mi dia tak cakap explain apa pun. Dia tak explain pun. Dia cakap dia ada masak apa ni. Mesti saya nak dulu.
Our crystal is under attack.
Tapi awak lawan dengan Mulan pun awak kalah ni. Kalau pakai cicak.
When I was a kid, an ally has
Huh?
been slain.
Kalah eh?
Up by the forge fire, listening to the progenitor tell myths.
Boleh heal balik. Apa?
They say that small bodies cannot wield great tools, but tall ones can break the sky. Huh.
Main dalam
Well,
lah.
I'm here to prove them wrong. Our high ground tower is under attack. Your turret
Masuk lah.
enemy has been slain. Fabulous. Our
Mulan tolong cari saya je lah.
enemy double kill. An
Okay.
ally has been slain.
Santai dia akan tangkap. Dia macam main lebih kepada rasa tak kompetitif lah. Game bukan kompetitif. Santai tu. Alah lah guys.
An ally has been slain. Double kill. Ace. Our crystal is under attack.
Itulah guys. Nyawa ikan guys. Kristal kita.
When I was a kid, my favorite pastime was curling up by the forge fire, listening to the progenitor tell myths.
Saya lupa nak tekan yang tangan tu tadi. Itulah tu.
An enemy has been slain.
Itik dapat laju juga kan bila kita buka tu. Tak, dia lama lagi. Saya boleh dapat speed. Saya bagi speed dekat ni. Ini saya dapat juga. Oh, mati saya. Habis cicak ni lembut juga Last time saya main cicak dekat mana? Saya main jungle.
It's okay. We got this.
110 kita. Tak, memang Clash Lane punya damage. Cuma saya kena tekan ni cepat sikit.
Every tool has its own nature.
So, saya asyik kena CC non-stop. Itu je. Mulan pergi CC banyak.
Defend our base. They say that small bodies cannot wield great tools, but tall ones can break the sky. Well, I'm here to prove them wrong. Forging 100 arms is only the basics.
Mana dia macam speed dia? Tak boleh nak buat apa lebih nampak. Hilang macam tu je saya. Kan?
An enemy has been slain.
Okay, habis. Saya nak buat mukbang ni cepatlah. Nanti Cu letak alert lah. Thank you tau. QF tadi kesalahan kau awak, Fi. QF ni saya rasa ni tak. Ci.
Defeat.
Okay, kalah. Saya rasa Cu kena report yang ni. Okay lah, B is not C. Cu tak banyak hero Clash Lane. Clash Lane cuma memang lemah. Nantilah Cu study. Banyak orang kena study game ni. Sekejap. Kita sambil tengok KIS. Apa nak kena tekan ni? Nova buff.
Locked in if they want to face what Nova Esports is going to bring. Mu Zixuan, Weipit, Kongling, and Wendy.
At least akan dapat first blood. Tapi
all of these are going to be the 5 boys from Nova Esports that we will be able to see if they can live to the expectations. Everybody has high expectations towards Nova, thinking that they might be able to take the
sambil
tournament.
Kita tengok ni,
Let's wait and see what they can show us today.
And
Okay, sebelum tu kita buat video
the
lebih.
new jungler that was used to be a sub coming in from Nova Esports, he has a lot of shoes and
Thank you,
responsibilities to actually fill.
Putrinya
Because back then,
Adam,
with
sebab
CY,
belanja
the
kita
original jungler back in
orang.
2025, they
apa ni?
made it to the grand finals and were
Mi
champions of
Putri.
PIS3. So,
Mi Putri.
the benchmark for calling,
Makan
it's
Mi
not
Putri
low
makan.
at
Thank you,
all,
Putri.
Isaac.
Cuma rasa.
I'm telling you, man,
Okay.
it is tough. It is
Kalau
really,
korang
really
nak tengok,
tough
cuba
because
buka besar
already
dulu.
when you're coming in to take not to substitute,
ini
but
lah
to take
rupanya.
someone else's spot, and this person has had such big achievements. It is difficult not to let that pressure just be felt. So Kongling today, like he's going to be his first real match in the international stage where he's going to have to be the real big man. Like he's really going to have to just wear that superhero cape. He's going to have to wear on his superpowers and then just make everyone forget about the past and then just focus on the present. Can Kongling be that person? Is he that guy?
Cilai tu lah tengah
Be,
fikir kat
because
macam mana.
being brought up
Banyak
to
sebenarnya yang
the
kenal.
main five,
Sembilan
coming
mana
in
yang
from a
dia kita-
substitute role, he's been watching Nova play for almost half a year now from the bench. So right now, having the opportunity to play on the main stage with the original four, it's his time to prove himself. If not, maybe CY is knocking on the door. It's like, hey guys, I'm back. Where's my seat? You know?
Wow, that is pressure, man. That is pressure. And in front of him, he's gonna have Joshi. Joshi from Blacklist has become one of the top junglers in the world right now. After his very solid performances during 2025, right now Joshi is being respected as what he has become, one of the top figures of Honor Kings internationally.
For Joshi, he has a very distinct and different hero pool. For other players,
dia
let's say
pergi
they're
dengan
playing
Mac ke?
tank
Vivi nak
Ogren,
pergi dah.
Bruiser Ogren, he goes out of the norm and plays
pergi
that
ke?
full damage Ogren where he deems
Apa dah saya okey
and then
sikit
he
pemain
has
ubat ni.
the niche picks coming in. He enjoys his lamp a lot
main
in
lo.
the jungle as well. So for Joshi, although the entirety of Blacklist International isn't very
Dia kata
long in the
noodles
Honor
je.
of Kings ecosystem in terms of esports and the game time,
Yes,
but the
sayang.
way they adapt, the way they decode their
Macam
opponents is
lapar.
just marvelous.
Inilah makan.
Decoding their opponents. That is a phrase that I have been actually hearing a lot in these last 3 days. The more that I have been trying to do some prep up for this game, the more that people say like decoding, like Blacklist, the decoders, like they're so good at the code breakers. What do we want to even say when you say that they are the code breakers?
Well, I think it's to analyze your opponents and break them down into pressure points. You understand your opponents from the
Macam nak
drafting
pergi
wise,
ni.
understand their
Terus pagi pergi
behaviors, understand the
bagi
macro
jangkut.
or micro mistakes, and then you pressure them from those angles. Yeah, but their opponents are Nova Esports, one of the top achievers in 2025. To prove that Blacklist International is a world-class team, this is their first, and dare I say, one of the largest obstacles here to start off 2026.
If they want to break this code is gonna be a tough one. It does not get more complicated than Nova Esports. Blacklist International is going to be on the blue side. Nova Esports is going to be on the red. Let's jump into the BP. Blacklist International first ban is going to be the Dharma. Respect towards Xuan. And on the other side, Nova Esports is going to answer with a Chicha.
I think Chicha has definitely increased in popularity ever since the release, I think last year. Definitely one of the heroes that could be flexed in all 3 lanes, Clash lane, jungle, and farm lane. She's not a marksman, don't be fooled. She's actually a fighter in disguise. So banning out that and getting it off the window already in the first place is a smart choice coming in from Nova Esports. This does open assassins like the Luna, the Pei, that Just G really enjoys. What does Nova remove in this phase?
Let's see. They're going to just keep going with that. They won't allow Joshi to take on that pay. They do not want to allow them the early tempo of the game, the early dominance. And over that, the Blacklist is going to decide, you know what? Let's just start with a solid first pick. Let's start with the Parasola. Let's go with Arlie.
For me, in 2025, Arlie was a prime pick in the pro scene. But after the nerfs, something just feels doesn't right. Like, there's so much assassins in the meta, there's so much farm lane counters, the Chano, the flowball marksman, the Direnjie. Arlie's placing for me right now seems to have faltered compared to before.
Oh, I love that, man. I love that. I love that you can spot that in there. I would actually dare to say that it's not that the Arlie has dropped, but the Arlie is just very dependent of the other picks that you can actually get it with. So right now, the Arlie depends a lot on what kind of pairing you can get. For example, can you get the Diadea over there with the Arlie? It's been one of those compositions that we have seen a lot. With the Diadea, with the extra stun and the initiation in there, the Arlie is a lot more free. But yeah, you're totally right. After this round of nerfs, Arlie stopping to be that gigantic hero that we were used to have. And right now has become a little bit more human, a little bit more normal.
That's the thing, right? So it will definitely be a pressure on the shoulders of Golden Kite to perform towards that level, because this specific matchup for the Arlie into the pre-start attack leader, not easy. It's a ticking time bomb. One mistake from the Parasola herself will lead to a spiraling despair. Because why? The moment that Arlie falls behind against these heroes, it's not easy. Laning phase is hard, team fight is hard, late game pressure is imminent for the Nova Esports draft. But good news for Blacklist International, Chaz is one of the world's best.
Aku tengok game.
And Dragon has his hands on the Evernight aspiration Taya to play more aggressive in that early game to stop that snowball from Nova Esports.
That is a lovely pair of picks, right? Like those two, the synergy in between the two of them is going to be on point. How can they actually work on the rotations and just moving around, being able just to create that advantages, how they can actually open the map. We can see the second round of bans already happening. Nova Esports will not allow the Monkey or the Aguto, putting a lot of pressure on what their choice for Joshi is going to be. No Jing, no Musashi, no Pei, no Aguto, no Monkey. What is out there?
Oh, there's still the likes of the... Let me put my mind on towards it. Oh, there you go. The answer you immediately with the Featherfoot and Dominant Ruler composition here. Fate utilizing the ultimate of the Liu Bang, the delivery system that we saw in game 4 of Kagendrum's Dominator. Just in a different view, this time with the Fate. But this is the problem. We're looking at losing lanes for the side of Blacklist International, especially the Arlie lane. So the mid lane priority on the first two waves is exceptionally important. Whoever controls it will be able to, one, Blacklist is able to defend the buffs against a strong Ogre in the early game. Or two, Nova Esports, if they get the mid lane or side lane priority, Kongling is gonna march into Justy's jungle and bully him.
You just made a very important point in there, right? It's just gonna come down to just those little details. The first 2-3 waves, whatever that they can do, whatever the dragon can do on that Heya right over there, it's gonna allow them to slow down what they already know due to their composition. It's gonna be tough times for the laning stages on both ends of the map. That is going to be very difficult for them. On the other side, for Nova Esports, I'm loving the combination of just having that Diadea with the Ogre and that Diadea with the channel. Over there, everything's looking really nice. The Xiao Xiao is a very direct pick against the Arlie. So, in terms of composition, the Nova Esports comp, for me, has a little bit of an advantage comparison to Blacklist.
Fully agree here, Isaac. I do think that in terms of the overall well-roundedness, it does give over to Nova Esports. But if we talk about surprise team fights, big initiations, pickoffs, I want to give it over to Blacklist International if the Fate on the hands of Justy gets to scale in towards the mid to late stages of the game. That is going to be a very scary hero for the backline of Nova Esports that has no mobility. The channel doesn't have mobility. The Xiao Xiao doesn't have mobility. So those are potential targets for Justy to lock on towards.
What can Joshi do right over there? So many things that Joshi needs to do, right? Because we know that Joshi on that Fate, he's going to have to be in charge of his jungle, trying to invade, trying to control the the objectives. At the same time that he needs to put pressure on the back lane. He's gonna be a busy man. Very, very, very busy times coming in for Joshi.
That's why jungle is not an easy role. I don't play jungle. You don't play jungle. We leave the jungle experts here. Joshi from Blackest International takes on Kong Ling, the newcomer in towards the Nova's roster here. This is game 1 of match 2. Blackest International on towards the blue side versus Nova Esports from the MKL on towards the red side.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, assemble. And that's what the players are doing in the mid lane. Directly a 3 against 2 over there for Nova.
Just here picking up
gonna get a jump for free?
Steal. I mean, he's playing with vision here, and he got the steal against Kong Ling here. What could have been a successful early game rotation coming in from Nova has been played really well by Just to steal away that camp here. So that early game invade coming in from the Ogren mitigated by Blackest International.
Talking about how Joshi was going to be busy just trying to protect his own stuff, like he's busy as well, just trying to steal things from others. Joshi, great start. Beautiful first 1 minute. Now, what can Blacklist do with this, right? Because for the Ogren, it's going to be very difficult. Losing that first buff, it's going to put him on his back foot, slow down his gold. Some other people are going to have to start sharing with him.
Yeah, I mean, in the beacon bans, we were thinking like, oh, yeah, this looks like a really strong Ogren setup for those early game invades. You can potentially get the wall forward cams or take like a buff from the enemy because you have the early to execute on the Ogren's soul stance. And then you look at Just it's like, whoa, he cheesed the heck out of Kong Ling, stole away the Azure Golem, immediately mitigated that early game pressure point coming in from the strong jungle matchup. So right now, instead of being a 50-50 or a favorable all-run early game, it's in the hands of Just already, being the first to get level 4.
Let's break it down like this for people who love analyzing Honor of Kings and they love analyzing these 5v5 games. It is super important to understand when you have a composition that does not have an advantage due to the way that the BP went, those first decisions are going to be critical in order to just kind of like just tip the balances again. Blacklist knew that they did not have the advantage on both ends of the map. So they decided just to really focus on start building the advantage and tip the tables a little bit on their side, either in mid lane or in the jungle. And by slowing down the Ogren, right now they have achieved their goal.
Yeah, this is off to a good start coming in for Blackest International, but still, early game is always like this. Give and take, steal and receive from both ends. If you can take more camps from the enemy jungle, if you can take more minions, get more last hits, those little things pile up to be a significantly going into that first team fight at 4 minutes here. But so far, early game, at the very least for Global, has been more tamed in the recent tournaments. Lesser wild team fights for no exact reason, more calculative plays between teams.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a technical pause right now. We are solving all these technical issues. We want to keep the game fair for everyone. Believe it or not, we worked really hard just to get a fair platform for everyone. We're gonna go back into the game at any moment. As right now, Blacklist is gonna be on the blue side, and Nova is gonna be on the red. Thank you very much for being right over here with us. This is the Honor of Kings Invitational Season 4. This is our first international tournament of 2026.
And with the hands on towards the phone here, in just a short few moments, we will be jumping straight right into the game here. You can see players warming up their fingers, and right now, let's head back into the showdown between these two teams coming in from PKL and also MKL.
Let's see. 2 minutes of the game right now. After we have that early steal, let's see what can Kong Ling do, right? Kong Ling, I'm telling you, we were talking a lot about the pressure that Kong Ling was going to have, forcing Dragon just to flash away in there. He needs to do something, and that is to calm himself. He cannot just start just rushing in.
Yeah, we'll move on towards the top side here. Shen putting a bit of pressure on towards Chami 1. Those flash gradations are hurting a lot on towards that Liu Bang here. So the mid lane, Dragon wanted to pull Waypit in towards that ultimate, but Waypit immediately flashes away. So Dragon had to counteract with a flash as Wendy caught him with that spell to Honey Sweet Breeze. And that's the Fate ultimate here. That little ultimate securing, jading the minion camp doesn't allow the enemy to steal it.
Ladies and gentlemen, our CD keys are right out there. Firestorm is going to be our first CD key. We're going to fire with a 1 instead of an I. And our second CD key is going to be Wildfire. That first I on Wild is still a number 1. So please log into the game, go online, and as always, because we like free stuff, go and get some.
Yeah, go and get some, hit that CD key, click bottom left, click community key, and then you can get the CD key here. But you know who's getting some? Chami 1 gets some ganks coming in from Nova Esports, gets taken down by a beautiful Honey Sweet Breeze landed by Wendy here. On towards your bottom left corner of the screen, we see an ultimate being committed by Dragon here, pulling in that 1v1. But the players are marching through. Stren gets a kill on towards the Haya coming in. Can he escape? Gets jaded by Just G here. But Kongling is a raid boss. Takes down Chaz, make it a 3rd kill for Nova Esports.
A 3-1 trade in favor of Nova. They come in. They were able to start the fight early. I know that they eat that Dragon's ulti, but as they come out, they're still being able to win. Hey, that hero, if the ulti is from extremely early, you have to be completely fatal. The damage needs to be lethal, or else you're gonna come out to a 1v4, 1v5 yet.
And that was a very proactive play coming in from Nova Esports, capitalizing Chami 1's position. Diadia binds him with the spell 2, and then Wendy catches him with a Honey Sweet Breeze, and Kongling drops to execute on towards him. So that was a series of CC chain that allowed Chami 1 almost 0 time to get that flash, to get that dash away towards safety. So beautifully played by Nova Esports.
Let's wait and see what Chaz can do right now, because he's going to be the person in charge of getting us the vision. The problem here for Blacklist is going to be that they do not have vision priority anywhere. And the only option that they have is just for Chaz to try to use his Cannon Blast in order just to provide them a little bit more information.
So much pressure though being generated by Kongling here on this all-rounder. You can see a lot of the focus coming in from Nova Esports is to trade sides against Golden Kite. Make sure that Muchi doesn't falter in that side lane. Muchi needs to farm. Muchi needs gold on this channel to try to out-farm the enemy Golden Kite here. But look at that combination coming in from both Just G and Chami 1. Jading Waypit and sending him towards the grave. Kongling finding Just G. They're looking for a pincer here. Chami 1 flash engage on Wendy. Wendy has to pop the flat and has to drop the Sprite to escape for safety here. So far in this exchange, beautiful stuff coming in from Blacklist International, closing out that goal gap.
Has destroyed a tower.
Very dominant team here. Very direct performance from Blacklist. Joshi makes the call for Chami 1 just to TP himself. Over there, they take the kill onto Waypit, and then after that, the rotation puts Wendy on his back foot.
Yeah, and so far in this early game, it's very different from what we saw in the Dominator and Kagindra series. It's really one-sided in some sort of way. This one in the series itself between Blacklist and Nova is back and forth. People are fighting aggressively for control. You give 1 inch, they will take a mile from you.
Very well answered here from Blacklist after just losing that big fight over there on the Clash lane. Right now, they need to try to control everything that they can. We make it to 6 minutes and 30 seconds. The Overlord is there up for grabs, but no one is actually just thinking about just going and initiate on that.
Yeah, not a fan of Overlord actually. I feel like Tyrant has much more power in the early game, gives you so much more damage and also wave clear to rotate faster here. So Overlord is more of like a freebie. It's like, hey, no camps, no minion waves, let's get that Overlord in towards our pockets.
Yang tengah
And
kuat
back to the bottom side, both Clash laners just
Hero
choking
kat
at each
pasal
other,
Hero
trying to get control here. So Chami 1 taking a lot of damage, has to pop the ultimate to escape from the Charlotte.
Dia macam
it
buat
has
agak
become
mid
like
orang.
that. The Overlord has evolved into something that in the late game, it is one of the key ways to finish the game, but in the early games, it's just a very big liability. It's not something that you actually want to force a fight in order to grab. So if it is just on your way, grab it. If it is not, then do not. Fade, you can see Joshi right now just clearing the wave, trying to get control of the minion waves, trying to force a fight over there in the mid lane.
And you can see the gold here coming in for South Blackness International. A lot of it is invested towards two members, Golden Kite and also Just G. And Just G being the prime member to receive all the beneficial in this case. 6,000, higher than anyone on towards the board and all the other 9 players.
Great timing in here over there from Josh. He just collecting the 2 kills that Blacklist or International
At least
has
player
already
ni
right now.
kuat sebab dia orang main game ni macam wiry tau.
Nova Esports on the other side already just trying to help Mutsu to farm as fast as possible. They know that they need that channel of damage to be online quickly.
Just G here trying to put a bit of poke on towards Kong Link here. Those Azir Golems and Old Crimson Golems putting a lot of work for the Blacklist jungle. Tyrant does go over to the side of Nova Esports here. Chaz flashes in on towards Muji, trades hits life, makes it a 1v1. But where does Just G go? Just G is completely out of position, gets punished, and that's a 1-4-2 exchange in favor of Nova Esports on towards the cross map side. We see Dragon capturing for a 1v1, but gets immediately punished the moment they come out. When he flashes forward, Chami 1, there's no way you can go as you are under a 4v1 arrest. The police, Nova, captures 4 members for the side of Blacklist International.
I'm telling you, right over here, Joshi should not have jumped in there. We were just praising him on his decisions. Chaz is being taken out of the equation extremely quickly. Joshi should have just cut their losses
Nova kuat
and
dia.
run
Dia
away.
player dia sama
He
dia.
engages,
Cuma
and right now that is music for Nova's
dia orang
ears. Because look at that, they take the
bagian
tier
coaching staff kan.
3 turret in the mid lane.
Nova player
and
dia
that is
memang
gonna be bad news
kuat.
for
Dia
them.
orang dah main. Dia orang
The
punya
tier 1 turret
understanding
in the
of
mid lane is going to fall.
hero semua dah tinggi.
Yeah, the tier 1 falls in towards the mid lane, the most important one in the game, denying
Walaupun
the Crimson
Kong Ling
Golem
masuk
away
kan,
from the
siapa
hands
tu,
of Harley. Also another big marker.
Apa nama dia?
And right now, we are closing in on the 10th minute
Yang
mark.
dia
And
sebelah CY.
Wise is looking really good for Strength. He's 4-3, 7.1k, a absolute side lane demon here. Blacklist International starting off the Shadow Overlord, but the Radiance coming in from Wave Pit immediately forces them to back off. They don't want to give them an option.
CY
to
gimana,
trade for
Azhar?
those objectives.
Dia masuk mana?
You already mentioned how Xuan right now with the itemization, it's working completely on his way. Look at that channel, it's extremely far away. He will not be part of this. I don't think
Apa
that they
banyak
want to
sangat
challenge
pos
this
ni?
one. I do believe that they need to just split and trade for Tyrant and Overlord.
So
Siapa
right
yang
now, if
request
we
post
were
ni?
to look at the setup here, Isaac, what Blacklist International
Satu game,
realizes that
bapak
Nova
lah
East was
banyak
trying to
postnya.
do, Nova is split to a 4-1. Muchi on the channel is soloing the Tyrant. And Blacklist International realizes that, hey, you're down 1 member, we gotta start this Shadow Overlord. We need to force this 5v4. If they get the Shadow Overlord, and for some reason they win out the 5v4
Mungkin
fight, this could
Sebab
be
ni
a
invitational,
very
so
big
nak bagi try
break
tengok Kong Ling main
moment
lah.
for Blacklist International to come back into the mid game. This is a make or break moment for 2 teams.
But I think that when you put it that way, that is a completely all-in kind of situation. Imagine that right now, they jump in for this Overlord, they lose that fight. We already saw Chano just taking on the Tyrant on his own. It's going to be Overlord and Tyrant free for Nova Esports, and most likely they will be able to parade through the mid lane in there. So it's a very big gamble for them. It could be a very big win, but at the same time, it could be a gigantic, dramatic loss.
It's the risk and also reward scale that we are looking at for both of these 2 teams. If Blacklist International, they can rely on the ultimate, the hardened Jade Seal on the Fate
Nak on the
to
way ke
secure
sana,
Shadow
okay.
Overlord
Choose start
and
make up
immediately
kejap.
force a
Macam make up depan ni je lah
4v5 with
boleh.
the absence of the pack leader on the hands of
Bagi cik
Gucci.
make up je oi.
Then it may be going super well for a side of
Kita
Blacklist
kena
International,
tunggu
but
ubat.
the worst case scenario that you mentioned just now, they lose the Overlord, they lose the Tyrant, they lose the fight. Oh my
Sudah
goodness,
halus.
that's gonna be
Nak
absolutely
make up je.
unacceptable.
Nak
Blacklist.
bersiap. Kejap.
Oh my days, I don't even want to think about that. I don't even want to think about that. Let's wait and see what is going to happen over there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are one more time on another technical pause. We are trying to fix it extremely quickly. Thank you very much for being in here. This is the KIS 4. We are here in the honor of King's Invitational Season 4 2026. Sagi, 2026 is going to be a very big game. It's going to be a very big year for our game. A lot of very big changes are coming in the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, you talk about ecosystem, right? We saw the merge of the regions, right? It was KME and also KMW and also WKS. Now they're all merged into King Major League, one strong league to decide who comes out of that one single league. So the quality of teams coming out from KML is gonna be really, really prominent.
I like the idea of just having another league, like just the KML. I like the idea of just bringing all things together. I believe that opens up a very big understanding of different cultures playing the game in different ways. It's going to open up a lot of opportunities for us to see teams and players from other different regions. So the whole process of internationalization of the game is actually going to speed up through this Kings Major League KML.
And opportunity is not only for pro players playing right now. We're talking about inclusivity. We're including the Women's Series. What used to be the Honor of Queens, it has been rebranded as the Honor of Kings Women's Series. Right now, it's featuring a lot of teams. 48 registered teams and a prize pool of almost, I think, approximately $10,000 US. So, ladies, you're free to join as well. Like, if you're capable, if you're interested in the game, drop that register every season.
Ladies, please join us. I love to see women in our game. I love to see women in our sport because it showed to us that we're all right over here just for one big goal, which is just to become the best Honor of Kings. Regardless of the gender, if it is going to be the Women's Series, the KWS, or if it is going to be through the KML, 2026 is going to bring us a lot of opportunities. Well, Sagi, we're back to the game. Look at that.
Going for hot and Shred immediately goes in for the splash radiation flash. Catches on to Just G. Gets caught by the Honey Sweet Breeze on towards the backline here. Dragon goes in for a 1v1 against Conflict, but loses in the Moonscape Mirage. This is the worst outcome. Although they securely overload, but with 3 members only alive from the side of Blackness International, they have a heck of a lot of defense that they need to do coming in with that top lane minions.
It's gonna be trouble. Only Chami one Golden Titan Chas gonna try to defend that high ground. They have the minions. They can come in, take the high ground. They will not try to make the final push. It is not necessary at the moment. But super minions available in the clash lane. This is bad news for Blacklist. They did take the Overlord.
Green is reduced by makeup forever.
At what cost? Right now, it pulled the game wide open to a 6,000 almost goal lead for the side of Nova Esports here. They just need to rinse and repeat, build up those minion waves, and force one final fight in the high ground of Blacklist International. Shred was such a key playmaker in this instant replay. Drop us down and run us through this instant replay.
Look at the replay right over there. They take the Shadow Overlord, and then as they are trying to rush away back, hitting the wall in there does not allow him to run. Joshi, sadly for him, the movement in there, he takes the objective, but at the end of the day, pays with his life, and the pressure that is going to be coming from the clash lane might be a factor that Nova could take in their advantage.
And look at the top side right now. We see a 1v1 between Chami1 and also Shren. Has to pop the ultimate to escape towards safety here. So right now, in terms of the map, in terms of the 1v1, I don't think anyone can stop Shren on this Rose Fencer Charlotte. He's looking pretty indestructible right now. Just G meeting against Shren here. We see members of the side of Blacklist International. Nova just coming in for this fate. He's running out of spell tech right now. He's really just kiting through the map, and Nova's like, that's too much. We'll pass on that. We'll pass on that. Yeah, just you get to live another day.
I love it. I love it, man. That's why Fate is one of my heroes that I love watching. Hate playing against him, but love watching him in professional games. It's just so mobile. It can just really. You can see that he came from a 1v5 and they just walked through the walls and they just got out of there. Isn't that entertaining to see?
It was just flipping over walls like he's flipping patties, just like jumping around the Hero's Gorge, and he stalled enough time for his members to come in towards his cavalry here. So the more time that Blacklist International actually stalls, I wouldn't say that their late game is as good compared to Nova Esports, but hey, as long as you're in the game and your turrets are not down, there is still a sign of hope. Who knows if Just G and Champion can find the miracle engage on towards Nova.
Let's wait and see. The only time will tell. 20 more seconds until we're going to have the main objectives back online. That's going to be another of the cues for Nova just to bring up a fight. Blacklist International cannot leave those go uncontested, and they need to start cleaning up the wave so they can have priority over at least one of the two objectives.
Look at top side here. Shen goes for the 1v1 here. Golden Kai is here to aid his Clash lane here, but gets figured out. So this position looks like a free Tyrant going into the hands of Nova, and there will not be an answer on that Shadow Overlord trade coming in from Blacklist International.
Uncontested is going to go for Nova Esports. Right now, they're going to have 75 more seconds of this buff. They will be able to take on fights. The only thing that they need to do is just to initiate in the right way. Shen over here taking a 1v2.
Shen flashes in with the splash grenation here. Finds the 1v2. Gets the assassination on towards Golden Kai in the 1v2 situation. On towards the backside here. Muchi flashes away from Just G. And Kongling in towards the front line, stalling 3 members here. That's a soul. Just G in towards the back line here. Steals away the Crimson Golem here, but where can he escape to? As long as Shen makes sure that he doesn't get back to base, the base will be in shambles coming in for the side of Blacklist International here.
Joshi over there, Shen just on the 1v1 mark. The minions are gonna come in, turret is going to fall, and right now the high ground is gonna be the next target.
The Haya pulling in Kongling for that 1v1, but that's a tanky boy that you have captured in that RuneScape Mirage. Muchi doing light work off that Crystal right now. Big going in for that assassination, but where is the follow-up coming in from Blacklist International? There is no one coming in towards their aid as the Crystal will fall alongside with the members of Blacklist International. It's a beautiful way, and this is game 1 in the pockets of Nova Esports.
Congratulations to Nova Esports taking the first victory of this matchup. 1-0 advantage to them in what these last 5 minutes was a very, very dominant performance from them.
If there is a single player that we need to highlight in that game 1, my goodness, Shen is an absolute monster on that Charlotte Rose.
You called it. Yes, you called it at the beginning of the game, right? Like, you mentioned that Shen was going to be a very important player in this matchup, and then he came in and then he just started building the items and building the goal difference very early in the game.
Very well played, I would say, and executed coming in from Nova Esports. Despite the fact that Blacklist International, they found a way to mitigate that early game plan coming in from the side of Nova. You can see in the mid game, especially that bottom lane fight, where the first victim was Muchi on that channel being counter-engaged by Chaz and the Liu Bang ultimate, and then Just G jumped in. He cannot reload on towards the wall immediately after coming in towards the ground. He gets absolutely demolished the moment he lands on surface. And then, without Just G, Golden Kai cannot really do DPS well when there's a active Xiao Qiao Breeze Heart in those fights. So it led to a very uncomfortable situation for Blacklist International.
It was one of those games in which Blacklist just had a very good opportunity at the beginning. They had a very good start of the game. They were really dominant at the beginning. They had the upper hand. But then after that, Nova just used their vast experience just to come and turn things around. It would not have been the first time that Nova has been put in a difficult position. So they have seen these situations. They know what to do, and they know how exactly just to turn around and be able to turn the game in their favor.
I think this also adds on to the topic that we talk about on Parasola, the early first pick in this current patch and meta. Previously in the 2025 season, Arlie was really high up there even when there's a channel because of how you can play tempo, how you can play side lane. But due to the recent nerfs on towards Arlie, it has lost its position. You need to play it flawlessly, and you will still find yourself in moments where the hero just starts falling off against strong late games, like the Xiao Qiao counter, like the channel counter. So for me, Arlie seems to be a pocket pick for some farm laners in game 3 or game 4 when there's lesser counters.
Let's put the attention to the Heya. Let's just turn our views and turn our eyes into the Heya. Have we seen today, in these last hours, a very good, strong Heya performance?
Sadly, to that question, Isaac, is a hard, cold no. I would like to say that Heya is one of those high-tier mid-lane mages that has a lot of proactiveness, but maybe it's a player thing, maybe it's a team decision thing. We haven't been seeing a lot of early game strong Moonscape Mirage ultimates coming in from the Heya users.
And we have seen a lot of people that they prioritize the pick, but up until right now, I have not seen one of them that can make me feel like there is a very clear plan, an understanding of what wants to be achieved through that pick. Up until right now, after seeing it in multiple games, my feeling comes down to we are picking it just because it's available.
Maybe it's like they fall into the bait where this is strong in the eyes of like super good teams or teams that have already mastered this Heya. Because if I'm not mistaken, Heya has only been released for about like what, 2 weeks at max. So the games that some of these teams have on Heya is not enough to really master it to a full level.
Look at Kongling's digits right over here. Even though in terms of neutral objectives and GPM and invasion rate, Joshi was a lot better. But in terms of vision and damage for Kongling, he was more. He was more of a tank that allowed the whole team just to jump in. So I would say from Kongling that we were talking about, it's going to be a difficult day for him because he needs to really get on those expectations. This first performance in this first game, actually I would give him a pass.
Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with Kongling's performance, especially in this game 1. He always had a gray area where he likes to play over aggressive in certain times, but this game 1, he's shown signs of improvement. His early days with O2, with other teams, it was, I would say, passable, but this is definitely a bigger step up coming in from the new jungler of Nova.
A great way to start to 2026 for him. Very well done. Well, Blacklist International did not give me a bad taste. I actually liked the way that they played, but in the other side, like they were playing against a Nova Esports that are very strong. Nova Esports came in here, a lot of people were questioning how they would perform, and actually they had a very good show against Blacklist International this first time. Well, for this game, the MVP is gonna go to Xuan on that Charlotte the Rose Fencer.
Absolutely masterful performance coming in from one of the anchors coming in of Nova Esports lineup. We were talking about the Xuan versus Chami 1 head-to-head matchup during the pre-game show, and you can see when Xuan gets the team rolling, they really get themselves in towards the minds of Blacklist International.
Look at this, like the way that they played right over here. Like he comes in straight under the turret, knowing that he's gonna be taking in all that damage, and he's still very aggressive. He knows that his teammates are right over there to finish the deal.
This was the key fight that really turned the game for both teams here. Chaz finds a beautiful re-engage on towards Muji here, but this time, Just G landing himself into 4 key members, which allowed Nova to just dice down 4 additional members, making it a 1 4-4 exchange and coming into the Shadow Overlord fight. 4v5 in the front seat. Oh my goodness, that ultimate flash coming in from the Rose Fencer. Charlotte coming in from Xuan just captures the players, Dragon, Just G, from the side of Blacklist International.
That was the moment that just defined the game, right? Like right over there, just that Overlord fight, and then the fact that they lose to members for Blacklist. That was the moment where everything just turned black for them. Nova Esports comes in and they take their first victory of 2026. Let's wait and see if they can make 2 more so they can actually take the victory in this best of 5.
Well, let's not count Blacklist International out at all, because if we don't think and look at the posts after 8 minutes fights at the second Tyrant, they were doing pretty well. In the mid game, they were looking for like aggressive trades on towards multiple members like Muji, like on Waypit, on towards the side lanes, and then it's those few fights that we talk about. When you lose a big fight like Blacklist International versus Nova in that bottom fight, that's where the game completely explodes. So for me, is to look at Blacklist International playing towards their comfort, something that they have played more in a more comfortable draft. I want to see something like that from them so they can execute those drafts even more flawlessly compared to Game 1.
Well, right now they might have priority over there for the banners and picks, right? Like, because right now they might be able to take that first pick. So let's wait and see if they're able to just capitalize on that little opportunity, on that little advantage. Right now, when you actually look at Blacklist, when you see the difference or the distance, if there is any, between Blacklist and Nova, and you compare it to a year ago, let's just say 12 months ago, would you say that the distance in between these two teams still the same, or has it shortened?
Okay. Blacklist International definitely... You're putting me in the spotlight here, Isaac. Okay.
I love the spotlight. Come on, go.
Okay,
You go first, and then I'm gonna give you my point of view.
Sure. Okay. On a analyst perspective, coming in for both teams,
yes,
I think Season 3 was the rebirth of Nova Esports. We saw Season 3 Nova Esports. They went to 7 games with Nongshan Red Force in the Grand Finals last year. But after that, they went on a insane run in EWC, Honor of Kings World Cup, took games off of TTG, and then going into the fall season, yes, they had a very good group stage. They lost to HBSC multiple times, but still, that's the sign of rebirth. For Blacklist International, it's the same. But to what caliber are we talking about same? I think the distance is still the same, but both teams have grown out of their shell.
All right, I'm gonna give you my 2 cents.
Sure.
This is what I feel. 12 months ago, if you would have asked me, we're going to have this best of 5 between Nova and Blacklist, I would have said, yep, Nova's taking it. That's it. But 12 months after, and right now, after seeing the evolution of not only Blacklist, but seeing the evolution of the PKL, I would dare to say that the distance in between those two teams has shortened. And I know that Blacklist knows that this is going to be a great opportunity for them to actually test that. That's why Blacklist chooses to pick Nova for the group stage, because they know that in the group stage, playing Nova is just going to be a great meter for them to understand how good I am right now, without having just the high stakes of being on a knockout stage. So Blacklist just coming in and then testing against Nova, for me, is them understanding that the distance has shortened, but how much has it shortened?
Wow, that's actually a really good point. To be able to take this like a scrimmage match against one of the best teams in the tournament without having the repercussion of being knocked out of the tournament directly in the group stage, definitely valuable experience for Blacklist International. And if they can take games out of Nova Esports, imagine what they can do in the knockout stage.
Exactly what I'm thinking about. Well, let's move into our next game. This is going to be game 2. We're still having Blacklist on the blue side. Nova Esports going to stay on the red. Blacklist International, they're going to have to try to capitalize on having priority pick. The first ban for them is going to be the Haya. They do not want to allow it for Nova Esports since they've already played it.
I think on the hands of someone that's even more aggressive like Wendy, who enjoys the Mai Shiranui, you definitely do not want to give Wendy or Nova Esports such an aggressive and playmaking mid lane here. Hence, you can see even from Nova Esports, I think they're trying to set up for an early pick, which has been sniffed out by Coach TG.
He just saw it coming. He was like, you know what? Even though Sag is saying that early does not work no more, I'm still going to put it out. Not gonna play my chances in here.
It's a Muji special. What can you do, right?
You gotta respect that, man, and that's one of the things that I love about coaches, when they need to analyze the big picture, and at the same time they need to respect the specific heroes for specific players. That is very difficult to balance.
Do your best.
And we only have 4 bans, so you have to put those bans into heavy considerations in the first phase and in the second phase. With that, Blacklist International, they do finalize the first pick coming in on the blue side being the Fire Ninja, Mai Shiranui for the Hands of Dragon.
With that, they're gonna be able to get burst damage. They will be able to have an extra assassin player right over there in the mid lane. Mai Shiranui being one of those very OG heroes that we all love, that I don't remember Mai just falling out of T0 or T1 ever in no tournament.
My worry here is Izai. We're into a Yuhuan here, and Yuhuan is not the easiest to really fight against as a Mai Shiranui. And if you double down your draft here, Blacklist International, you pick the Dharma, you're gonna be countered heavily at their pick by a Magistrate Direnjie. But I'm liking the approach here. They take away the Yangjin and they pick an aggressive jungler for the Hands of Just Chi here. No more assassins, but we go into a different route, a tempo jungle. Tigress for Just Chi.
Alright, so if we are gonna just get the pay for Blacklist International, that's going to alleviate a little bit of the pressure on the Yanjian, right? Like, we've always been seeing a lot of that Yanjian jungle pick, but right now with the pay in there, that Yanjian does understand that his job is going to be just to be tanky and to allow some initiation. What can Blacklist do with that pay in the early stages is going to define how much pressure is going to fall on the shoulders of that Yanjian as well.
At the very least, from how I view Blacklist International's draft, their rotation speed is really, really fast with the Pei and also the Mai Shiranui. So those side lanes in the mid game will be a hot place for both teams to really battle it out. And you check over to the side of Nova Esports draft, they're playing a very mid lane mage-centric carry style. Jungle goes towards the tank, and Wendy gets his hands on a double refresh, Yuhuan as a carry here.
Yuhuan as a carry?
Freedom.
That is a lovely thing to see. Look at that. Like, when you look at Nova Esports over here, just having that Dolia and having the Flowborn, having the Yuhuan, and right now adding up the Aaron, the Nova Esports composition right now over here from 4 members, missing 1 in here, still stronger than what Blacklist has on the other side.
Our paths intertwined by
but still, like Nova right now, right? You see the draft?
Yeah.
I think the Laurel Princess Aaron plays a big role in this draft. Like, you can go the standard build that is right now popular in rank, which is the on-hit build. You can go the Sparks Forge Doomsday, yada yada. Yeah, that works too. But if you go for the magic build, you unlock the items like the Ardent Dominion that gives you a free cleanse once you drop to a specific HP with the shield. So it's a pretty decent counter against the likes of a Fire Ninja Mai Shiranui. And to top it off, to close off the charge for Nova Esports, Guan Yu has been locked in. This is a signature pick for Nova Esports Clash Laner Shred, and it's one of the top picks in this tournament with how strong Guan Yu is due to the buffs.
The buff right now in this patch is going to make Guan Yu a very heavy hitter, right? Like, right now it's going to be buffed up. Guan Yu should have been a prior pick, and it's going to be a prior pick in most of the teams. One of the difficult things about that Guan Yu, right, is that it's not a hero that you can just decide like, okay, I am going to carry. In comparison to other options that we have in the Clash lane, Guan Yu is more of a team player. Guan Yu is more of an initiation, a second initiation kind of hero, and it's not the same as when you have a Byron, when you have a Charlotte, when you have a Majin on top, that they can actually just carry themselves on their own. So seeing Xuan on that Guan Yu, that's going to be a feast for our eyes.
It's down to how both of these clash lanes really pull in the weight for their teams. This is Blacklist International taking on Nova Esports in Game 2 of this Best of 5 series, with Nova Esports currently leading 1-0 against their opponent. Thoughts on this, Isaac? Do you think Blacklist International, with this specific draft, can they pull it into a 1-0 for both teams?
The truth is that for me, this is a 70-30. For me, it's a 70-30 for Nova. 70-30 for Nova right now is what I'm seeing in here. And Blacklist is extremely dependent on the tempo that Joshi can do in the early stages. And then after that, the Deer and Jeb, can Golden Kite actually take on that 1v1 in the early games and then just put Erin on the back foot? I don't see it as a 50-50. I do believe that the BP clearly is in favor of Nova.
We'll have to see the early game tempo coming in for Blacklist International. If they can make and break Nova in the first few minutes and make sure that Golden Kite, Dragon, and Just Chi doesn't fall off, then maybe we see Blacklist International takes more control of that mid-game before Shadow Tyrant here. But so far, we see a 2v1 setup, aggressive towards Blacklist International, towards the bottom side, securing that Fire Beak in the hands of Golden Kite. Off to a great start, I would say.
Great start right over here. Let's see. Chami1 under a lot of pressure right over here. You can see he's going to have to use his flash. That's going to go on a cooldown. Sadly for him, he won't have that ability available anymore for a specific period of time. It is going to be about that pressure. At the end of the day, Nova Esports understands something very important about this game. It's not always about going in and get the kills. It's about going in and harass your opponent. Just force him to waste time or to waste abilities and put those abilities in cooldown. Nova Esports understands that, and that's why I sometimes believe that they are at a different level than the rest.
But Chaz here getting punched out by the Floorborn tank. Double knockup into double knockup. That's 4 knockups here, and he gets the first blood. And the solo bolo towards the clash lane here. No flash, walking out. 3v for Shred. Shred solo kills Chami1.
Oh, solo kill right over there. We know that Xuan is gigantic on that Guan Yu, and it is bad news for Chami1. This is a horrible matchup for him. On that Yanjian at these early stages of the game, he will not have an advantage in there. And right now, Xuan has just made that stretch a lot wider.
Immediately in 2 minutes of the game, already a 2-0 kill lead for the side of Nova Esports, and we see Chami1 putting a lot of pressure on towards Strand here, zoning him out of this minion wave. Dragon is also in the vicinity, trying to make sure that Chami1 gets this lead at the very least. Just Chi here, just having a few lead in towards the jungle here. As long as Just Chi doesn't fall behind, there is still consistent hope for Blacklist International later on in the side lane tempo.
Alright, let's wait and see. Let's look at that. Right now, Blacklist, they need to really understand how to capitalize out of these minion waves. It is important for Joshi right now to try to make a movement. He needs to try to do something. You can see him right now on the minimap. He's cleaning over there the red buff area. He's going to start rotating to the mid lane. After he cleans this wave, something needs to happen because we're moving very close to the 4-minute mark. But what can they do? Look at that. It's going to be 3 against 2, Sagi.
Pinned down on towards the side of Muji here, but the heals coming in from Wave Pit. Common spell heal. Drop in the heal on towards the Dolia spell too. Making sure that Muji never falls below half, and Shred finding Just Chi in towards the enemy jungle. There is the Guardian Sprite. Damage is reduced by 15% here. Dragon, no flash. Bounce House coming in from Conling. Picks up the first kill here. Chaz, no flash as well. Making a double coming in from Nova Esports mid lane Wendy here. Things are looking horrible for the Blacklist International squad.
Oh, what is going on in here? Blacklist International, come on. Dragon and Chaz falling in here in the moments where they could actually taken 1 kill on that Guan Yu. The Guan Yu is going to survive, but Dragon and Chaz is going to fall. That's going to start giving more and more openings for Nova Esports. the pace timing right now, as it's just becoming tighter and tighter and tighter. It's becoming a lot harder for him to actually command the tempo of the game.
If game 1 was like an equal standard coming in from both teams, like they're just playing based on their own tempo, game 2 is completely Nova Esports dominating the early game and pulling Blacklist into a rabbit hole. The more you lose, the deeper you fall in towards this rabbit hole, and the harder it is for you to recover into that mid-game period. It's only 5 minutes, and it's already almost a 2,000 goal lead for the side of Nova Esports.
It is too big a gap for this early in the game. When you're supposed to be controlling the early stages, your composition is supposed to be taking control of this. What are you going to do in the times when that Flowborn is going to start getting online? Look at that, it's going to be a
1v3. Shren pushes onto tree, gets the Razor Cavalry here. Trades Dragon on towards the first kill here. Pins Just Chi on towards the wall. Just Chi manages to flip away for safety here, but that is Tree invested to dive one horse in towards that bottom lane here. This leaves Golden Kai having to expend the flash in towards the top side. Not a tower traded for the life of a 1-to-1 exchange.
Has destroyed
a 1v3 and he's still able to trade one back? Come on, man. It's impossible to stop the Shren glazing here. It's just crazy.
It's only a glaze if it's not true. He's just styling on the members of Blacklist International here. Kong Ling finding the bounce house on towards the members off the side of Blacklist International here. This Azir Golem is a freebie going into the pockets of Nova.
Right now, they're going to move the target over there to the mid lane turret. It's going to be Chami 1 trying to clean the wave. They do not want to let that one go. In the moment that that turret is going to fall, Guan is going to have free roaming around because there's not going to be any vision just to try to find where Shren is going to be running.
More angles as well, right? The moment the turret goes down, there's more flank angles, there's more backline access coming in for the side of Shren here. We see a bit of a poking prod coming in from Blacklist International, securing the buff for Just Chi. First, Unending Sorrow goes in, coming in from Wendy here. Chami 1 finding the assassination on towards Muji. Isn't able to find it here. First to fall will be Dragon. Shren finds a 2-man push, sends Golden Kai into the mouths of Nova Esports. Only thing that Blacklist International can do is to back off, and now another turret goes over to the side of Nova.
A tower.
A 2-0 trade for Nova Esports right now. They are commanding this game. It is going to be horrible. 7 minutes right now, 3,000 gold advantage for Nova Esports. Joshi comes in, he tries to check if there's anything over there for grabs and goes back with the tail in between his legs.
Such a difficult position for Blacklist International to be in here. You were drafting a Mai Shirui and Magistrate Direnjie in the early game, expecting to play that tower pressure, but to fall so much in the early game due to the fact that Kong Ling punished Chaz, punished Dragon for mispositioning, and right now, the Direnjie is in such an awkward position. You can't push, you can't pressure with that 2-item power spike. The longer this game goes, you're just gonna be outscaled by Wendy and Muchi on this double pick.
Difficult moments right now. They have eyes right now. They've got vision in here. Nova Esports right now, they decide to come in for the push. Look at Kong Ling with the Flowborn coming in. He does not care about anything. He is just walking through the jungle in knowing that he is a menace.
He's putting so much room for Muji, for Wendy to play easily in these team fights. Every time Chaz comes in with the 2-2 on towards the members of Nova Esports, you want to heartlink back to your teammate. No, Kong Ling's like, no. You stay here, I'm gonna knock you up 3 times, and you will be dead by the time that you can actually move.
Just the multiple knockups that Flowborn tank can do, man. It's just like the design of that hero makes it, in this specific patch, such a gigantic option. The initiation, the sustain, the damage that it can provide, paired up with this Dahlia, and paired up with this Yuhuan. What can Blacklist do to turn things around?
Maybe a miracle push coming in from Just Chi in towards the bottom lane for a Hail Mary, But so far, looking in towards the front end here, we see Muji pummeling down that mid-tier tree. Wow, Golden Kite gets pushed into the mouth of Nova Esports once again. The Destiny counter slashes in towards the side of Blackest International. The final tune sets Golden Kite up for that death. Wendy flashes forward with that aggressive ultimate here, gets Dragon and Just G on the back end, all the way towards the base of Nova Esports. It means in the front side, it will be a 4v2 in favor of Nova Esports. Before 10 minutes, they're looking for the game-winning push.
It's back. He's going to push the crystals to be the target. The minions are still alive. They're trying to clean them up. It's not going to be enough because they're all falling. The crystal's going to follow, and it's going to be Nova Esports taking the second victory of this matchup.
9 minutes and 49 seconds. Not even a 10-minute game. No shadow objectives were present in this game. That is how dominant this game 2 was in the eyes of Nova Esports against Blackest International.
Nova Esports comes in and then they just completely put their foot on the ground, saying that they're not going to be pushed around. This is the Nova Esports that we remember. This is why they're one of the top teams in our game. Blacklist International, on the other hand, the first minutes of the game, it was really difficult for them to actually control what was going on. That is the problem in here. The problem is that if you have already designed your strategy to be very dominant in the first minutes and then the ball kind of just falls, there's no coming back.
Okay, guys.
Your power spike is just in there at the beginning of the game. And what can you do after that?
Okay.
A series of events, right? Like we saw in the top side. The level 1, I mean level 2, the roam coming in from Wendy towards the top side, forcing out the initial flash from Chami 1. And after that, it was a solo kill on Shen's Guan Yu against Chami 1's Twilight. And then that wasn't the only thing that happened. That solo kill was the second kill for Nova. In towards the bottom river, that was supposed to be a 50-50 matchup between the two teams. It was Nova Esports finding a perfect kill thanks to the Floorborn tank CC chain on towards Chaz Bond Weaver that got them yet another lead. And from there on out, everything was disastrous for the side of Blackest International.
I'm gonna go.
One disaster after the other one. One fight lost after the other one.
Hey, Shoki punya
there was no coming back. There was no coming back in there. Again, I love the way the Blacklist finished the 2025, this 2026. They decide to take on this very gigantic challenge. And in these 2 games, they have not shown that they are at the level of this very, very difficult game.
But it's still a plausible thing for the side of Blackest International. Losing early is always fine. You stat check yourself against Nova Esports, potentially one of the champion teams coming into KIS4, and then you think to yourself, okay, now that I know what I'm lacking against Nova Esports and the other teams, if they start to look back towards their recordings, start to pick up their game pace, maybe by the time of the knockout stage, they could realistically minimize that gap.
Of course, yeah, no, I completely understand what you mean, man. It is not, and I don't want people at home just to think that we're writing off Blacklist from this game, right? Like, there's always the possibility of 0-2 turning to a 3-2.
So nak kena pergi watch party.
Those are things that we have seen in the past.
So,
it's just that when you analyze this game,
Malam ni main
not
fast
even making
movie
it into the 10 minutes, when you are supposed to have the early advantage, that says something. That is a gigantic flag that must be addressed.
I think for me, aside from the gameplay coming in from both teams, there is a thing coming in from the draft that I think Nova Esports has been doing really well on the red side. If we go back towards game 1, the moment that Arlie shown coming in for the side of Blacklist on blue side pick 1, we see the counter of the Chano and also the Xiao Qiao coming in for Nova Esports. That's reacting to certain picks that can counteract against your first pick. Now, in game 2, same thing happened. You pick the Mai Shiranui, and then Nova Esports immediately answers with a Dolia plus Yu Huan. That